Ish.
Are we live? Are we live?
Ish.
My hands smell like bleach. Trying to do this laundry.
Okay.
Uh,
We're live. I can see you.
Yes.
yeah.
Hello.
Well, I see something.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's all that scratching. Good news. I'm not going to be grading papers today.
Hey.
Yeah.
Comments on these stories for the Whitewater Writing Festival that's coming up on the 30th.
Yeah.
I got 10 days to put comments on all of these. So first I'm going to eat this donut, but yeah, I'm going to put them over here because I got water bottles over there. I don't want to
Yay.
accidentally get no water on them. And the Duchess just went to Goat Farm. Free apples and milk, but no hay. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We've already said hello.
Hello.
Testing.
Oh,
Testing.
she's home. Hi, Duchess.
Hello.
I
Testing.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Apples
Yep.
and milk.
am ready to go.
Well, I'm
Right,
not.
let's go then. Yes,
Ready
let's
to
do
go.
this.
Okay, I guess.
Ready to
Huh?
go.
Should we start?
Ready to go.
Yeah, here
Let's
we come,
start
people.
the
Ready or not, you
motherfucking show,
fucks.
bitch.
Get ready, people. Here comes the...
To the veteran gamers, Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that we play this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with soundbite saviors. Son of a kid! It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. Switch that console off.
Oh, God, I feel like we're
before you
podcasting with
press
Duke now.
Yo.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Hello and welcome to episode 672 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yay, 672. What up, people? It's Duke here.
It's Stu here.
It's Chinny here.
Yeah, we
that
are
was
not
almost
military
right.
veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
What do you mean that was almost right?
Never
No,
mind
there
that.
was-
We got an intro to finish. Shush. We are
Oh,
not
okay.
military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
Yes.
But we're glad
Yeah.
you're here with us
We stream every Sunday. Bloody Sunday.
every Sunday.
Sunday, bloody Sunday.
And Stu sings songs
I
because
do.
he's got a lovely voice.
I have got a lovely voice. I've been told
Yeah,
that
how
many
is everybody
times.
this week?
I'm fine. I'm good. You too?
Great. Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I should be more panicked because I'm not grading papers like I should be, but you know what? The human mind can only take so much. I was
There
out
is
sick
some-
Thursday.
There is some bad news though.
Uh-oh,
I'm
what's
afraid.
that? Actual bad news? Or
I've
you
got to
setting
go.
us up for
I'm
some
back
sort
to I'm back to work for 4 days next week, man. I'm nearly back full time. Like the week
Well, that's a
after.
good thing though because it means you're on the mend.
Well, it means I'm okay, but I've got to go back to work
Yes.
full time though, so that's not a good thing.
Oh,
But it is a
shall I
good
play
thing.
you a violin concerto?
Well,
Gotta
God.
work. Oh,
I tell you, this having to work business, man. What's all that about?
Do you have to grade papers on Sundays? Oh, Chinny left. You made Chinny leave.
No, I don't.
Great. Well,
but
then
I'm-
thank your lucky stars. You don't have to go.
Well,
Do you
I
have to sit
guess.
in a room for 8 hours on Friday
No.
and hear about how important it is to design engaging lessons?
No, but
That's
I've
what I
got to
did on
run around the
Friday.
hot kitchen.
Hmm?
I've got to run
I don't
around
have
the
to
hot
do that. You're
kitchen.
right. Yeah,
So
I'm
you
glad I
know,
don't have to do
think
that.
your lucky stars, man.
Yeah, I
Tell
do.
you.
I wasn't whinging about going back to work.
Duke, we get
Oh, yeah?
complaints when people eat on the show.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Well, then don't eat on the show. What does that have to do with me?
Popcorn's not very noisy, so it's lime.
Hey, donuts aren't noisy at all. It's just when you interrupt me while
Yeah,
I'm eating.
popcorn.
Smacking
Popcorn's
your
great.
lips. You're smacking your lips. They're noisy.
I'll show you smacking my lips.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Mm.
how do we feel about the World Cup, Stu?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
I'm gonna boycott it this year. I think.
No beer. What the hell?
No, that would be fine for me. I
mean,
have
like,
no problems with that.
I don't particularly care about the World Cup anyway.
No.
And I realise it's difficult for people that will enjoy the sport. However, I just think, it's basically killed half of 9/11 at this point.
I just feel.
1,600 people died in the construction of 7 stadiums.
I know. It's terrible, isn't it?
It's horrible.
And I also feel like it's just a weird time of year for it because it's always in the summer and it's in the winter and it's just a bit weird.
Yeah.
You know, like having the World Cup in December and like November is just odd. I don't know. I
guess
just
so.
feel.
It's a bit different though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It's a bit
I don't know how it feels as hyped up as it normally
Anyway,
does.
Duke, I don't know if you know much about the World Cup and all the rigmarole.
I know
around
that
it.
the human rights record in Qatar is terrible.
It is.
And they basically they
Yes.
wasn't qualified to host the World Cup, but for some reason, mysterious reason, they won it anyway. And
Yeah.
there was
Nothing
like
to do with money. Nothing
they,
to do
they,
with money.
they said
Cash
you,
rules everything around me.
you need because the runner up was America, Duke. Funny enough.
Well,
when
we
they got
also
to-
have a pretty bad human rights record.
Yeah, but to be fair, to run a World Cup, to host a World Cup tournament, Duke,
Yeah,
you need 8 stadiums.
right.
Now, America have lots of stadiums for
Yeah, they
American
do.
football.
They're ready
That's
to
true.
go. Ready
That's
to
true.
go.
College
Okay.
football. They have
Yeah.
many
Oh,
different
sure. We got
athletic
all-
stadiums.
You don't have to tell me how many stadiums there are. I was born in a stadium. Not really.
So this
but-
was the reaction of the so they went to Qatar and said, "So how many stadiums do you have?" They go,
right.
"Yeah. No, how
Oh,
many?
plenty.
No,
We'll have so
wow,
many.
we got. How many do we need? 8. They had one. They had one
Yeah.
stadium, and it wasn't very good.
Yeah, but
Right.
what they did have was millions of dollars that they could
Billions.
pass to someone
Billions.
to make things
Right.
happen.
Right, and that's the thing. The government of Qatar has been known for trying to just fix things with money quickly. They're
Yeah.
air conditioning outdoor markets in Qatar. Like that's how delusional and fucked up that country is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's serious problems.
I just
there.
wish I was in the room when he said you need 8 stadiums. He was like, yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
why wouldn't he believe that he could build them?
We got 8. We got we got all the stadiums, mate. Don't worry about it. So, but it's easy for me to boycott the World Cup because I really
You don't like
care about
football.
it.
You don't give
know,
a shit, do you?
I only watched 2 England games in the Euros last year, and both of them they either drew or lost. So, which was the Scotland game and the final.
Come
Those are the
on,
only 2
England.
games that I watched. So, yeah, I know Darren in the chat says all the stadiums are in one city as well, which is ridiculous. Also,
Yeah, they are.
so it's stupid. They should never have hosted it. I think America would have made a great host. Not that America are a perfect country themselves, but you know, whatever. It's a.
They
It's
could have
a.
had like Donald Trump organising it. It'd have been fine.
All right, we're not saying that name here. You don't want to get
It'd be.
started on
It'd be
him.
a shame if England won this one. Put it this way: if they was to win one, if they won this one, it would be a shame because it's the.
Yeah.
you
There's
know,
no way they're gonna win with their fans all sober.
Well, they might win if they're all sober
Well,
because they're not
they might
shouting
do.
racial abuse all the time.
Yeah, but that
Uh,
isn't that what drives the England team though? Isn't that the fuel for the fire?
I think money drives them more than anything, to be honest. And
Yeah, it does.
there was a lot of we're talking about football on the show, Stu. How about that? But there
Ugh,
was
going
everybody
on?
gave
Never talked about football. What the hell is happening?
everybody
Yeah,
gave.
really. I
one
did
of-
not sign up for this. I am not endorsing this. These guys.
I don't
did
know
not
which one it
speak for
is,
me.
but he's on Sky, like one of the Nevilles, Philip or Gary. I don't know which one.
I think it's
And they-
Gary.
They were
think
giving
it's
him
Gary.
shit. Sorry if you're into football and I'm just sort of murdering things. Right, but like they were giving him shit like for going over there, and like David Beckham, they were giving him shit for going over there. I was
How
like,
much for
yeah,
picture of David Beckham?
but it's like I don't know. It's tough because whoever Neville, that's what I'll call him. I don't know if it's Philip or Neville. Whoever Neville, like it's his job at the end of the
Gary.
day. I know he's got loads of money and he doesn't need the money, but it's his job. Do you know what I mean? His job is to be a pundit on Sky. You know, so if he doesn't go, then he'll probably lose his job. And I was like, well, it's not his fault that it's Gary apparently in the chat. It's not his fault. It's not Gary's fault. It's just
Gary's in the chat.
I noticed
Yeah,
that
Gary
you
Neville's
didn't
in the
take
chat,
me on
yeah.
when I said it was Gary 3 times, but someone in the chat says it, and you're like, "Oh yeah, it's
yeah,
Gary."
but I know you don't know
understand why
much
we don't
about
believe you,
football
though,
either.
I know
right?
enough.
Yeah.
I know
You
some
know.
stuff. I know more than
Oh,
you.
yeah.
All right, I'm talking about
Alright,
the exploitation of
This is
poor
very
people in
important and
construction,
interesting.
and you're just bragging
Welcome
about
to
how much
Who
more you
Knows
know.
More About Football.
Anyway, all right, then.
Exactly.
Stu, you've
Are we
spoiled
gonna
it
talk
now.
about video games at
Fuck
some point?
football. I don't
By
want
the
to talk
way,
about it.
did you see what Joe Lycett did? Have you seen about
Who's
Joe
that?
Lycett?
He's a
So
comedian, very funny,
he's a comedian in the UK.
from West Brom.
Is this the one you're going to see?
No, I was
No.
supposed to see him, but I had
Oh, it's
COVID,
Fred
and Tara
Jackson.
Tara went to see him instead.
Okay.
But
go
anyway,
on.
he
Yeah.
he basically called out David Beckham for going over and taking some endorsements or something for $250 million or something
I would.
for a huge amount of money, and basically said he should give that back and not endorse it because of Qatar and the, being anti-gay and anti-everything and anti-whatever and
Anti-everything. They hate everything.
anti-everything.
Like if you give them a keyboard, they'll be like, "No, I hate it."
So he said if he was gonna if he gave it all back, he would donate £10,000 to gay charities and stuff in the UK, right? But if he didn't, he would burn £10,000 instead.
Yeah.
That's idiotic.
Oh no, not
That's
Bernie.
n-
Sorry, he put it through a wood chipper. That's what he said he would do.
Oh,
Also
that's
idiotic.
so that's
If you
fine.
want to support the liberation of LGBTQ people, do it. Don't pretend like you're going to be some good person if David Beckham is a good person, and then if he's not, then you're not.
Well,
your
he's
morality
gay
should not
himself,
be-
by the way. He's not. He's a gay man. But
That's
anyway,
fine. How you use your money should not be dependent on what other people do.
Do
Well-
what Duke's saying. He's 10 grand's 10 grand.
so what he did was put it through the wood chipper. That's what he did because David Beckham.
That's
And
didn't.
silly.
now people are free.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we move on? Somebody got a story time, I hope.
So I'm going to the World Cup.
Yeah.
All
My
right.
favorite time. It's story time.
Oh,
Story
I gotta add my
time.
notes. I didn't have
So
I added my
I've got a
notes. I've been so
story.
busy today. Yeah, go ahead,
I've got a
Stu. Hit us
story.
with a
I was
fun
going to
story.
surprise you, but I've
Ooh.
decided just to tell you instead.
Uh-oh. Wait a
But
minute.
in a week on Monday, I'll be wearing glasses because I'm fucking old.
Oh.
Okay.
I know.
So you were going to just show up with glasses on.
Yeah, I
one
was
day.
going to show with glasses
Now
on. and
you're
go,
giving us a
"Hey!"
heads up. So do this. Go like this so we can see what you'll look like when you're
Yeah.
wearing glasses.
Yeah.
You go, all right, isn't it? You like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you look so different. You look so smart.
I
Nerd.
know. I'm going to
All
look
right.
Nerd.
Well
smart.
done.
Does that mean we have to redo all the art now?
Yeah.
You do.
So I went
Or
for
just
the
take that picture
classic-
with the rosy cheeks and just draw lines on them.
I
that'll
went
use
for the
reading glasses
classic
on his nose.
Dennis Nielsen serial killer look.
Yeah.
You know, some like aviator style glasses. You know, the big round metal rimmed
Oh, yeah.
ones. You
Yeah.
know, all the
Totally.
70s serial killers were.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer. There you go. Now you're
cover-
talking.
You wore glasses?
Is that what you asked for in Specsavers? Like, give me those Jeffrey Dahmers,
Yeah.
please.
I said, excuse me. I want to look like a serial killer.
I just want that sort of like could be a serial killer, could be a genius kind of look.
But right, this is the thing. Have you ever had an eye test, Ginny? Have you ever had one?
Yeah.
Have you ever been like tried to be sold some glasses?
Yeah, they're very pushy.
Because here's the problem I've got. Right, I can't read very tiny writing on labels anymore because I'm old,
Because you're old.
and my vision isn't terrible long distance, but if it gets, more than, I don't know, 30 or 40 meters away, it gets a bit blurry. And what I have noticed on the telly sometimes, writing is quite blurry, especially games, video games, and you're trying to read something on the screen.
Yeah.
Even on my big screen, I'm like
Hey,
squinting.
Duke, you ready for this?
Yeah.
You ready for this joke?
I'm ready.
You must
ready.
be. You. Anyway, Alan, you love this. you. You must be blind if you like Deadly Premonition, eh?
See what you did
So
there.
droll.
See what you did there. Anyway,
Who put this fly
So-
in my ice cube? I did. Oh, that is absolutely splendid.
Oh,
so the upshot
so
is,
droll.
So
not
droll.
only, do
Wild.
not only do I need glasses, but I need like expensive varifocals.
Of course.
It's like, oh, you need to see. Like,
Wait,
this,
what are
but you also need to
varifocals?
Varifocals are when the bottom of the lens is different to the top
for
of the lens.
reading, and the top of the lens
Aren't
is for
those called
seeing long
bifocals?
distance. No.
Varifocal.
No, but bifocals have a
The ones-
distinctive line in
They
the
have a
middle.
line, yeah. They have a little square.
Varifocals just look like a normal
They
lens.
blend.
Okay,
So it
but
blends, so
they
it-
do have two lenses.
Yes,
no,
but
well,
you
it's,
can't
it's
see
like
the
this-
joint.
It's like you can't see the joint, so it's like a gradient rather
they
than
look
a
like
hard.
normal
Okay,
glasses
I gotcha,
rather
I
than-
gotcha. So
rather
it's
than a
like
line going
bifocals
across.
built into one lens. I got
Yes.
Okay.
But here's the problem: they're expensive, right? So, but this
I'll
is what they
bet.
do. This is what they do, right? They go,
What
well,
do
you
they
can
do?
have the standard ones, right? And they show you. They go, "Oh, but there's like a little bit at the side where you'll notice
That
that it's
optometrist sounds like a really weird person.
this is what you
I'm
do.
looking to
this is what
here.
you do."
I'm just going to blow a little puff of air into your
Yeah,
eye.
I did that. I had all that shit done. So he goes, so here we go. So yeah, you'll see a little bit of distortion at the side. So they show you the difference, right? And the first one
Distortion.
is shit, right?
Yeah.
They show you the example of the lenses, right? And there's probably about a centimeter in the middle where you could see something. And I'm like, yeah, that's shit. And none of them look that much better until you get to the most expensive ones. And then there's like barely anything. And you go, well, there's not a lot of choice because all the others look shit. I guess I'll have to have the most expensive. This is how they get you.
You said again.
So then you end up buying.
Or
the
your
most
eyes are all
expensive
fucked up and you're lucky
lenses.
you can get these at all.
Well, I guess. So yeah, I've got to go and pick my glasses up, and I'm fucking old. I'll be going fucking grey and bald the next thing I know. Oh Jesus
Well,
Christ!
At least you got a
Well,
goatee.
what happens, man? People said to me, right? It
Oh,
all goes
wait. Oh,
downhill
man,
at
this is the perfect opportunity. I can play it now. Stingy Stuart. Stuart the stingy lad.
What are you talking about? Well, the most expensive
Full
ones.
price for anything he's ever had.
Well,
He
the
must
most
be
expensive.
A stingy fucker. He don't want to be a sucker. So me and you will listen as Stu tells a story about saving £2 on some bullshit because he's such a cheapskate.
That's not true. I bought the most expensive fucking
Yeah,
glasses.
because you had to.
Well, I
But
didn't
if
have
they had
to. I
given
could've
you
bought
an
the cheap
option
shit
between two
ones.
of them, one that would last longer and one that was cheaper,
I
you know
really
you go
feel
for the
like
cheaper one.
you bought these glasses very loudly in the shop. Do you know what I mean? Like you was like, I can't believe, and you're knocking things over.
Everyone pay
Oh,
attention.
but
I'm
I had no
buying the
idea. I
most
was very
expensive
good.
ones.
I was
Yeah.
very, very good. But yeah, like I was saying, right? People told me it goes downhill when you hit 50. I didn't expect the fucking hill to be this steep.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, I got to
Holy
pay bills after the show. Remind me.
God
Okay.
in heaven.
I'm
Hey,
sorry
by
you had
the
to pay
way,
money for
Well,
glasses.
yeah, I've got a joke.
Oh, great. Is it as good as the one about the
Oh.
ice cube?
It's
Do we
better
do-
than that.
Do we do jokes now on
ahead.
this show?
Yeah,
Better
hit
than
me.
that.
Hit me.
What do you call two birds stuck together?
Two birds stuck together. Dove pair. I don't know what.
Velcros. There you go.
And if you only
Ah.
have two crows, then it's an attempted murder.
Oh, there you go.
And if your crow flies, hang on. Hang on, wait a minute. If the come back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was
come
a
back
noble
to you.
attempt.
If the crow,
All right,
attempt.
let's talk about some fucking
crow,
video games.
crow.
Where are you going? Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing? What you been playing? Come on, everybody. Check me out. I'm dancing. I'm dancing.
Here, I've got another one. I've just made it up for you, Chinny, because you couldn't. Here we go. Where's the most unusual place to find a crow?
Denmark.
Baltimore.
No, up your nose. Up your nose.
I don't get it.
All right, I went first last time. Someone else has to go first this time.
I don't
I'll
get
go
it.
first.
I don't get it. I don't get the
It
joke.
doesn't make any sense. Don't try to understand it. It'll just
Because they
drag this whole
can't fit up your
process out
nose,
longer.
Duke. They can't fit. They can't fit up your nose. It doesn't work.
Shush.
It doesn't work.
Dude, quick, talk
Anyway.
about video games.
I'm glad to see, by the way, I'm glad to see you all played the game we were all playing this week, Scarlet Nexus. It's good
I
to see
played
you
it. I
two-
just didn't bother putting it on my list.
You've not put it in your fucking list.
Oh,
I
have.
know,
I've
but I
played-
did play it.
I played it, but I just couldn't remember what it was called.
What, you played it and you don't know what it was called? How did you play it?
No,
No,
he
I
played
did-
it earlier in
When
the
I was
week,
making
and then he
when I was
forgot about
making
it.
the list, I couldn't remember. I couldn't recall the name of it, so I didn't put
So
it
let's
on the
start
list.
with that game since it's such a big
All right.
burr in your butt.
No, just wondered why you, because you haven't let us play it.
I have played it. you fucking
Yeah, we
bastard.
played it. Yeah,
Play
Play my game, bitch.
Don't make me break my foot off in your ass!
Whoops, I forgot I was playing it on the main screen. I thought. Anyway,
So
Moving
we've
on.
been trying
So we
to
just
find
start
Duke.
the show again.
yeah,
just
let's
do it
start
now.
all over.
Anyway.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We've been
Wh-
trying to find
What do you
Duke.
call 3 crows?
Trying to find what?
Oh my god! So I've been
Huh?
trying to find Duke a RP
Oh
to
my-
play because he's got in a rut and he don't know how to play.
Okay.
So it was suggested JRPGs are maybe the way to go.
Yeah, I suggested it. It was suggested. I
was
said I'm
his-
going to go for some.
It was his
JRPGs.
own suggestion. So I
Right.
had a look, and Scarlet Nexus gets highly rated. So we were
Mm.
like, well, let's give it a go. Let's see
Yes.
what's what.
and we gave
So,
it a go. Yes.
What do we think? Duke, have we found the game?
No, we have not found the game. Here's the question, though. I mean, this is a perfectly cromulent game. Like, there's nothing wrong with this game. Chenny put it on the screen.
I'm trying.
Romulan.
Fucking hell. You know what? With
question
that attitude, I
becomes-
might fucking not bother.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Hey, you're not going to
Sounds
hurt me.
pissed
You're
off.
going to hurt the fans, the people that we do this for, our legion of crusaders. By the way, the new podcast from Jordan Peele, he didn't make it, but he's like producer or whatever. He went on TV to promote it. It's okay. It's got some interesting ideas, but I don't think it's executed very well.
It's not
really
quality
scary
like
at all.
ours, Duke. That's the trouble.
Well, I didn't say that. All right. So the point is that he calls his listeners crusaders, so that's why I said that. Because people were like, "What? Why did Duke say that?" All right. Here's the question: what makes a game an RPG?
Yeah. What makes a game an RPG?
Like leveling up and shit.
Yeah, role playing.
You know what? A lot of games have leveling up at this point.
Choices.
Yeah, a lot of games have choices. I
Picking
mean, my
a-
point is that
picking a class
the elements.
Great
Well, there's no
combat.
classes in this game. The elements of traditional RPGs have infused themselves so much into video games, and so that way the question becomes like, okay, a lot of these games, you do a search for RPG on Xbox Game Pass, you're gonna come up with like Coral Island, Stardew Valley gets recommended as a role-playing game. And I mean, in their limited way, I suppose they are. But this feels like an action game. When I was playing this, I was like,
It is
action
classed as
game.
an action RPG, so that's what it is.
Yeah. Right. And so I guess what I would say is, when I have an itch to scratch for an RPG, this isn't the kind of thing I'm looking for.
What
But, I mean,
is
whatever.
what is an RPG?
What are you looking for?
Now,
though,
what is
Jack?
an
That's a good question.
RPG?
It's hard.
Yeah, what is it
So
these
for
days?
me, here's the thing. I can't necessarily. I don't want to necessarily define what an RPG is in and of
What
itself.
is
I
it?
can tell you that what I'm looking for is a game where I can create a character that I can customize, and it feels like my own. And I guess I feel like the combat is going to be more traditional. I like a game with more traditional combat. The combat in this game is pretty non-traditional because you have a psionic power to whip cars around and all these special moves to
I love it, by the way.
psionically fling stuff.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Again, it's not bad. Like
It's
it works
great.
very well. It's very crisp. It's just
It's
not for me.
visceral.
It's certainly not what I was looking for, right now.
You see, it
is
reminded me a
visceral, you're right.
lot of Azura's Wrath, so I'm
Oh,
gonna
well, fair
like
enough.
this game.
This is also Japanese, isn't it?
It is.
You don't
It
say.
is. You know,
Right,
it reminds me of
feels like a
Platinum
Japanese
games.
game.
It reminds me of like all those types of games.
Sure, I'll
I
let
feel
you.
like Platinum tend to be a little more intuitive. Not that this isn't really
I
terribly.
think it's
kinda
very
intuitive.
intuitive, actually. I thought the combat was really easy to get your head around.
Sure, I'll let
I
you
feel
guess
like
what I
it's
say
easy
about
at
this game.
No, you
First
hate it,
shit,
Ginny, I
you
would have
didn't like it.
thought.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chinny.
Yeah.
I fucking hated this game. I just hated it as soon as it started.
Why
I
did you hate
don't
it?
like Japanese.
Why did you hate it?
People, no games. Right? No, I don't mind the people.
You like Ghost of Tsushima? Isn't that not a game?
Yeah, I love that game.
No, it's
No,
not
it's-
Japanese.
That's a
by
very
the way.
Japanese. It's a traditional.
It's
an ancient
Japanese
Japanese. game.
Inspired, but it's not Japanese creators.
It's not a modern Japanese game.
Well, but what I'm saying is, this game's trash, and I hate all of it because, like, a lot of it is crap because the cutscenes are awful.
The
Right, the
cutscenes are
character-
pretty bad. I
The
agree.
characters are like
It's fully voice acted though, Chinny.
so.
So you're
So there's
usually
less
more.
reading than in a lot of
Yeah,
RPGs.
yeah, you're
is what
usually more
saying.
critical if you have
That-
to read.
So I was
stuff.
fucking
Yeah,
Pep-
but
Peppa
okay,
Pig,
so
but you
there's
don't
like
watch me
reading is
play-
down
watching
here,
that.
and then there's crap cutscenes here, and then there's good cutscenes.
There's
up here.
like-
so yes, this is a step above having to read everything. But
Some
Yeah,
of
it
the,
is.
Some of the dialogue is like, oh, yeah, what's wrong? Nothing. Is it because your brother wanted to go through training school? What? What are you talking about? Like, what? Is this because your mother
Yeah.
died 10 years ago mysteriously and you never found the body? Well, what?
It haunts me.
You know, it's just terrible writing. And I don't know if it's just bad translation. I hate it. I hate the mix of style of cutscenes that Japanese games seem to love. You know,
yeah, like
Yeah, all
three
these-
different kinds. Yeah.
Yuzuka
Yeah.
does this. Yuzuka.
Yuzuka.
you know,
Yakuza.
Yeah, Yakuza.
Yuzuka
yeah.
does it right. It
Yakuza
goes.
does it, yeah.
It goes like fully animated cutscene to here's just some still pictures, and then here's like 3D characters, but they're just still. No, I don't get it. Not for me. And I I just hate I hate the enemies. They just look like gimp plants that just like gimps.
That is one thing that I can certainly agree with you on, Chinny, is that the enemies are a very chaotic mix of like robots and like plants and like all sorts of weird.
I just think
shit.
like they just pick the weirdest thing you can make. Okay, yeah, that's
No,
fine.
but there are others. What are you expecting the others to look like?
Look, I don't know,
people?
like Dave.
aliens.
yeah.
No, they're others, man. They're from another realm. What are you
others.
Yeah, but
expecting?
why are they?
Whatever.
Okay, fine. They're others from another realm. Why are they plants wearing skirts?
Because why not?
Because
aliens.
it makes no. It's plants wearing skirts with high heels on. Again,
That is true.
It appeals to this weird, sexy fantasy that
I don't
Japanese
think it
developers seem
is.
to
I
have.
don't think a
Why have they got
plant
high
with
heels
legs
on,
is
Stu?
because he can do more damage.
Because
with
the
a high
person
heel.
who made it has got some weird pervy thing about high heels. That's probably the truth, right? It's weird, and weird for the sake of weird is just not good weird. I don't mind weird. I can play weird games, but weird for the sake of it is just stupid. The only good thing I'll say is the combat feels nice.
The combat
but
is good.
I just
I
can't
have to
stand
say.
these games where you do a bit of combat and then you walk, I don't know, 10 seconds and then a cutscene appears, then you walk another 10 seconds, then another cutscene appears. The world doesn't feel real, the characters feel stupid and wooden, and the enemies are dumb. It's a fucking no from me. I hope this game burns, and I hope everybody that worked on it loses their job.
Wow.
But I feel like you're holding back how you're really feeling.
yeah, I feel
about
like
it.
you should be more truthful.
You don't
And
need
it-
to be
yeah.
like so reserved.
And
Chinny.
whoever came up with the idea of this game, I hope they have a little bit of water that splashes on their sleeve when they're washing their hands. You know,
Okay.
annoying.
I
that
played
is.
it for about an hour. I eventually got a hold of all the elements of the combat, and then I did a couple of parts of the story.
The
and I
first
just
boss fight was
couldn't do
pretty
it.
cool, I have to say. Did you get as far as that, Duke?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I got to the first boss fight, and it was satisfying. I've got to, I agree with a lot of the points you're making, Chinny, on this. I do agree with
Well,
what you're
that
saying.
everybody who
that's-
worked on it should die.
No, that all the dialogue's a bit weird, and that some of the enemy obviously.
But for me, like
characters are a bit
when
strange.
these things come up, like for me, it becomes really hard to play. Like I cannot. It's really grinding my gears, and I'm wasting my time playing this.
But that being said, the combat for me is really good in this game. I really liked
Just,
it.
it's
I
just,
liked.
it's just, it's.
I like
fine.
hurling cars at enemies, and I like when you get the left trigger attack as well, and you can start smashing them on either side and doing all these cool moves and stuff in between. I actually pretty.
I mean, that's the thing, right? So once you get a hang of it, it is, it's better than when you don't. But I don't know. Here's the thing: I think the older I get, the more I enjoy simple combat. Like I don't want combat to be 20 different things that I need to do. Now that's just a personal preference. If you're into it, cool. You liked Elden Ring, right?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I played it for about 15 minutes.
And I haven't played Elden Ring, but I played Dark Souls, and that just ain't my thing. So.
But
to
this
each
isn't
their
that.
own. I'm
This
glad you
isn't
like
that difficulty level. So this isn't like those.
No,
games.
I know, but what I'm saying is that it's a complex form of combat that
This
I'm
is
not
yeah,
interested
but I like. See, I like the Devil May Cry, the DMC one.
Well,
you
this
know,
is very similar to this to an
no, but
extent.
yeah, but the Devil May Cry that was made by the British
Capcom.
studio.
All right,
Oh,
okay, by Ninja Theory.
Yes, by Ninja Theory. I love that Devil May Cry. I know people didn't like it, but I loved it. And I just thought that the combat's really good in that. I like juggling enemies and all that sort of stuff. I love all that stuff. It's great. And you do you juggle enemies in Devil May Cry. You do that in a bit in God of War. You know,
Yeah, you do.
I love deep combat systems. I don't mind that at all. It's just the dressing. It's just all the other crap that comes with it. I hate it. I just can't be in this world and take it seriously.
Yeah, the like the characterization and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I do get what you're saying.
It's just unbearable. Like, look, honestly,
Yeah.
Stu, when I'm playing it, I'm getting angry. I'm like, this is so stupid.
Getting angry. I'm getting angry. Hate this game. It's making me
Well, that's the
angry.
other thing is that like it doesn't feel like I mean, for me at least, it didn't feel like an alive world. It felt like a totally empty world with monsters in. And I mean, whatever, like people fled the city, I guess, or whatever it is. I don't know. It feels unsatisfying to me to be in a world that's so barren.
But a lot of these
Flat.
type JRPGs are often like that, aren't they? When you go into like the fight, you're just in some sort of arena with
Yeah.
just the enemies, and there's no other people around on these sort of things. And they do explain that when you first go to another area other than the main city, they say like this is like been abandoned because the others have taken over and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
So they do make that reasoning as to why. I mean, there are people in the main city area where the training school thing is.
Yeah.
You
I
know, where
just-
you're
I don't
doing
know,
your
it
training
felt-
and stuff.
It felt kind of rinse and repeat in a certain sense. So I mean,
I hated the first cutscene when they had to like connect to that weird computer or something, and
yeah,
like it's like kind of like the Matrix where they like plug in these like things in them,
yeah.
and it looked like the most painful experience that anyone could endure. It looked so painful, and they just got up and just went, "Well, thank God that's over. Like, that was inconvenient." You know, it's just weird stuff. I can't take these characters seriously. Nope, it's a no from me. Scarlet Nexus can fuck off.
Fine.
I hope if
well,
I delete it, Stu, it somehow deletes the game from all existence for everyone.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't think
I
it
rather
does.
liked it, so I hope that
Right.
doesn't happen.
So 1 thumb up and 2 thumbs down.
2 thumbs down. I have got the
That's-
James
the
Alderman
game.
says GIMP plants classic.
I've got the game for next week, by the way, people. That we
Oh,
all
yeah?
need
What's
to
that?
play.
I think you picked this one,
s-
didn't you?
No, but I'm only picking this because we should play it anyway, which is
Right.
Somerville. Somerville's out this week.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard good
Which
things.
Is it on Game Pass?
Which-
It's
yes,
the-
it is.
It's one half of the Limbo makers, isn't it?
Limbo and
Oh.
yeah,
Inside.
Inside. So the person who
Yes.
made Limbo and Inside heads up this studio, and it's
Right.
it's got good reviews so far, so it's looking pretty good.
Yes.
So that's the game.
I've
for
heard
next-
Texas has
good
good reviews. That
things.
doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah,
Look, you
I'll-
liked Inside and Limbo, did you not, Duke? At least
Yes, I
have
did,
some
I'm just
optimism
saying.
for a
I
change.
think
The
it'll be a good one to
I don't,
play.
I'm not an optimistic person. That's not who I am. I don't know how well
Well,
you know me.
just
but
do it for a change.
once
You
you get
know,
to know me a little bit,
bit of
you'll
optimism
realize
instead of
that-
pessimism all the time.
Well, yes, I don't. I'm just joking with you. I don't think it's going to be bad. I'm not trying to be pessimistic about
Well, we'll decide next
Pembrokeshire
week.
and whatever it's called.
Okay, so Somerville, write in your diary,
Right.
whatever. Don't forget to
Summertown,
play it.
Got it. Yep.
Okay, Duke.
Okay.
What else have you been playing?
Right. So my complaint about Guild Wars 2 last week was because I was having so much trouble with my glider. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You couldn't get it.
Guess
you
who
couldn't
got a
get it, then you get- Oh
glider?
god.
Oh, thank
I
God.
got a glider.
Jeez.
And all
tell
my
ya, I'm
all my
relieved.
problems were solved.
Oh
Nope.
no, they weren't.
Then it became, oh, well, you have a glider, which is great, and I was able to conquer some of the map with that, but I need the bouncy mushroom training, so fuck me, I gotta level up my bouncy mushroom
This
training.
game
But
just
then I
sounds
did
like
that,
work.
and all of my problems were solved. Nope,
God.
now I gotta get the Exalted Lore training up, and fuck. So I used the bouncy mushrooms to get up to places that I couldn't get to before, and then I glide off of them. And then I was like, I'm gonna try to level up my lore, and I got my Exalted Lore leveled up, and all of my problems were solved. Ah,
Oh my God.
fuck. So here's the thing. Look,
Ugh.
there's a bunch of posts on forums, on the official Guild Wars 2 forums, on Reddit that are like, what the fuck is up with Heart of Thorns? Like, why does it suck? And of course, the community votes that shit into the ground. They hate hearing that because the people who wanted more of a challenge from the original base game of Guild Wars 2, they love Heart of Thorns. So, everyone, like literally people are writing get good. When people are complaining about the Heart of Thorns map,
Get
it's
good.
tiered, which means you have like 7 different layers. Normally there's like 2. So you have all the, branches of trees going way high up and other areas you can't even get to unless you do. There's like meta stories in these areas. So you can't get to certain parts of the map unless you're doing that meta story. And I have no idea how to do it. Like I go through there's these green stars that are like, hey, go here for your story. But that takes me to some other map. So I'm like, well, that's not it. There's some other meta. I'm just like, why is it so complicated? The thing I love about Guild Wars 2 in general, the base game, is I can put it on. I can do parts of the map. I can kill monsters. I can jump around, find the vistas, and it's relaxing. Now, Heart of Thorns is not relaxing, and I kind of regret buying it. So
Honestly,
whatever, I got
just-
my mount.
I would take Chinny's advice. Fuck this game and be done with it because
No, I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm not
I'm-
giving up. I'm a
oh.
quitter.
it sounds like work. It sounds like you're doing a job.
It is work. It's tedious, annoying.
It sounds
work,
awful.
But
How's that
but-
fun?
well, it's not.
Well,
But
why are you doing it?
well, here's the thing. They
Oh
say
my
that
God.
the second DLC, Path of Fire or whatever it's called, is a lot better because
So
they
you-
heard
you
people
sound
complaining about Heart of
like-
Thorns.
You sound like an abused wife.
Yeah, you do.
He's like,
It's
I understand
fine.
that.
but the
I
next one,
deserved it.
he said he's going to change, and
Yeah.
he said he loves me, and
Well,
he's
no,
gonna
here's
stop.
the thing
next
though.
time.
Let me explain. So, look, if I kept playing Heart of Thorns, yes. But here's the thing: apparently, the developers heard a lot of people saying that they weren't interested in how punishing Heart of Thorns was, and how. I mean, here's the point: a lot of Heart of Thorns it requires you to play in a group, and the base game is designed to be fun if you're in a group, but not hard if you're alone. They threw that out the window with Heart of Thorns. So apparently they scaled it back and they changed things for the second DLC. So I'm gonna give that a try and see how it goes. That's the nice thing about these DLCs is that they are mostly optional. You don't have to finish one to get to the next one. So I don't know. We'll see. Guild Wars 2, the base game is still awesome. There's things about it that are really great, but Heart of Thorns is not a good DLC. If you've never bought any DLC for Guild Wars 2, I would say don't get Heart of Thorns because you get mounts. That's the best thing about it. So is it worth the $20 to get a mount? No, but I do have a mount now, so there's that.
Oh, honestly,
And I have a glider. So.
It's just work. It's just work, man.
Right.
At least you got a glider, though, Duke.
Yeah, at least you got a
I have
glider.
Yep.
It's nice to have a glider.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'd like a
I
glider.
have a
Can I have a
now.
glider?
All right, Chinny, go ahead. What do you got? And you better not be
Uh,
talking about Marvel fucking Snap.
Marvel Snap, ladies and gentlemen, is
Christ.
addictive.
If I can't talk about Rocket League, you can't talk about Marvel Snap.
I have played Marvel Snap, but I won't talk about it because
Okay.
sensitive about
Marvel
I'm
Snap.
not sensitive. I don't care. I thought the rule was you can't talk about a game unless you have something new to say about it.
What if I
That's
have
true.
something new
You
to say
didn't make
about
that
it?
rule.
What if
Okay,
I
go
have
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
don't have anything new to say, but
How did I know?
but something I did talk about last week that I do have something new to say.
Okay, go on.
It's Vampire Survivors.
Okay.
Vampire Survivors.
Bullet hell kind of game. Horde
Kind
mode
of, but you
game?
don't. It's an automatic combat game,
right.
isn't it? Yeah. So
Right.
you
Yes.
all you do is move the left stick. You don't
Yes.
fire. You don't hit.
Nope.
It's just
no
upgrading and
special
collecting.
attacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Collecting gems and upgrading and collecting gems. So last week I had a little bit of frustration because I couldn't get past like 10 minutes. I was really struggling, and I've heard like people on the SEAL team just, I don't know. Oh yeah, but I've got to like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm like, how do they do this? And then lo and behold, pretty much straight after last week's show, I got my first like 20 minutes, and I was like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was any sort of trick to it. I just kept on upgrading my character, and eventually started to progress. So I've got to 30 minutes, and then after 30 minutes, this death thing comes for you and kills you.
Oof.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's addictive. It's mind-numbingly addictive. The same sort of itch, I suppose, that Power Wash Simulator creates. Of like, you're just doing it. You're not thinking. You're just listening to podcasts, playing it. It's fun. So yeah, Vampire Survivors. I managed to get further on it. I will play it a bit more because I think there's a lot more. There's a bit more stuff that the game's offering that I haven't quite got my head around. So I will continue to play it. So I'm looking at weapons on this screen that I've never even seen on this gameplay. So yeah, there's more stuff that I want to uncover.
There's so much left to explore.
Yeah, it is quite a deep game when you like. There's actually like, oh yeah, if I upgrade this all the way, it gives me this, and I never knew that. So that's interesting. So if you upgrade the whip all the way to the top, you get energy, you get like health back, and you're like, oh, that's interesting. I need that. So yeah, there's a certain
Hook it up.
satisfaction of like, you just keep sort of finding out what weapons do what when you evolve them properly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it's great. I love it. Vampire Survivors. So
Yeah, I need to play more of this because it's obviously
great.
on Game Pass now, so I can just play it, stream it on my Steam Deck.
You don't even
know?
need to download it; just stream it.
No, I'm going to stream it on
such a-
Steam Deck. Job
Such
done.
an easy game to stream.
And
Very
it's a
streamable.
perfect fit for the Steam Deck, hence why it was the number one played game on for the last however many months running.
Yeah, it's great.
So it kind of makes sense. Yes, I have been playing other stuff. Other stuff, by the
Ooh.
way. I have had the VR helmet back on.
Ooh, he's
'cause
back
I'm
into the
playing-
VR, people.
Yeah,
At
I
your
played it for
age,
a
Stu,
while.
at your
Hiatus.
age.
I know. It's a bit
I
dodge.
thought that wasn't good for your
Bit
heart.
dodge. Well, the games I'm playing they aren't very physical, so it's fine.
Could it be scary?
I'm going to talk about a game that's been out on there for a while, but they did a free one because it uses AR and VR.
Okay.
So because when they introduced AR, they made this little demo-y type thing.
Augmented reality.
Augmented reality. And it's called I Expect You to Die, Home Sweet Home.
Okay.
So the normal I Expect You to Die is kind of an escape room type thing, where if you press the wrong button or whatever, you die and you have to start again.
Okay. I got you.
I'll be honest with you, I started playing this, and to begin with, I was quite impressed. Because it
Impressed by
starts
what?
you off stood inside a wooden crate. So you have to map your whole living room. So you have to map all your walls.
I'm trying
your
here. I'm
windows.
really trying here. You
I
were
know,
impressed
listen.
by being in a wooden crate.
Well, let me finish.
Go ahead. I'm trying.
So before you can play the game, you've got to map your whole living room, all your walls, windows, settee,
Okay.
sort of furniture, anything that's
Right.
in the
Yeah,
space.
I got it. You got to
basically.
map your room. Sure.
So you do all that stuff, right? Then you start the game, and you're inside a box.
The same dimensions as the room you're in.
No. It's just a tiny box. So you're inside a tiny box with obviously 4 sides. And there's
Okay.
a thing that says, oh, you need to get rid of the box by dissolving it. So there's little openings and you can slide them backwards. And obviously when you slide them open, you can see your living room beyond it, which is kind of cool. Gotta
Okay.
say. It is pretty cool. So you can slide it and you can see your living room. And you have like a grabber and you have to grab the sort of covers off the nozzles. Then you press the button and the box dissolves. So I'm like, this is pretty cool. I like this.
Okay.
And then it says you can do different things with your if you hold your hands up to your face, it changes to X-ray vision or it changes to something else. So you do X-ray vision, and then you can see this gas pipe in your living room wall that starts spewing sort of toxic gas out, and you've got to turn all the valves off. So you do all that stuff. And at this point, I'm like, this is pretty cool. I'm quite impressed with this. And then
Blending
it
the
says
real
you've
and the
got.
fake.
I know it says you've got bugs, and I was like, shit, there's bugs, right? And this vent opens, and all these like bees come out. So you sort of
Covered in bees.
yeah, and you can grab them, and they explode, and you throw them, and they explode. And you've just got to basically blow them up by throwing them into the loads of bees.
Okay.
So like this is still pretty cool. I'm enjoying this. Then this thing pops out your living room floor, and you've got to stop it exploding. And there's all these electrical panels. And you pull that off, and you switch on, and it blew up on me, right, and killed me. And I'm like, damn it! Now I expected at this point just to go back to that particular puzzle. You don't go back.
You're not going to be that lucky.
No, it starts you right back in the box again, and I'm like,
damn it.
So I did the box. I did it again because I thought it can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. So I started doing the box thing again. Got to this here puzzle again, and I'm like, blew up on me again, killed me. I'm like, fuck it. So that was the end of it. I just turned it off.
Okay.
But
But
up
you
to that
enjoyed
point, it was clever. But I should have used the X-ray vision. I'm looking at this dude doing it now, and he's done it dead easy. Do you know what I mean? It's not blown up on him, but it blew up on me.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It did blow up on him, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. And then it starts you at the beginning. You go retry, and you think, oh yeah, it'll just do the fucking thing. And then it didn't do the fucking thing. It put me
Didn't
back
do
in
the
the box.
fucking
See,
thing?
the man's in the box. Dude's in the box again.
I'm a living in the box. I'm a
I was
living
like,
in the
"Oh,
cardboard
fucking
box.
hell."
Oh, fucking hell.
So it was clever, but shit at the same time, is my verdict. And that's it. I can't say anymore. It was just shit. I hated it. I liked it, and then I hated it.
But it's, I mean, he's redoing the puzzle here from the crate, and it's taken him 2 minutes.
Yeah, but it's frustrating, isn't it? When you have to do the same thing over and over again, it's pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear
It's
you.
just like, I just want to fucking fuck it. I just want to do the last puzzle. Why are you making me do all of it again? It's tedious.
Well, yeah, there's no. I mean, that was an important thing to have in a game back in 1996, but we're not in 1996 anymore.
No, we're not. So clever. I like the idea of it, but they could have executed it better, in my opinion. They shouldn't have been so fucking stingy with saves. They should have been able to save.
Agreed.
When you fucked up, and then just let you do that same puzzle again.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it for me on that
Right.
shit.
Okay.
And back over to you, Duke, I think.
Yeah. So I gifted y'all a game this week
You did.
because I had an experience I have not had in many, many years. I can't remember
Wow.
the last time I did this.
Let's play Guess the Game that Chinny's played and finished this week.
Except it's Duke instead of Chinny, and it's day instead of week. I started and finished a game in one day.
Wow.
Yeah. So the game is called The Shady Side of Me, The Shady Part of Me. And it was on sale on Steam, and I always look at the games on Steam, and I'm like, I don't know, whatever. But this time I was like, you know what, this looks cool. It's a $5 game. Let's give it a shot. I played it for an hour. I liked it so much. I said, okay, Stu and Chinny need to play this.
Yeah, you did.
Before we get to what you think, people should know it's a combination 3D platformer, 2D platformer. You are controlling a little girl and her shadow alternately. You switch back and forth between them. And the 3D girl will flip a lever, and that will affect the shadows that the 2D shadow has to move along. I just felt like it was gloriously elegant, designed so well. I just loved it. What did y'all think?
Wow. I liked it. I like the aesthetics of it, and I like the game itself. But I found it. This is only a very minor criticism, by the way. I did enjoy it, and I haven't finished it yet. But I've sort of played it. I didn't play it for a whole lot of time, but probably about half an hour, 45 minutes.
Okay.
So I played
you're
a fair
maybe-
bit, a bit of it, but I was playing God of War, so it kept on dragging. Right. Anyway, I found it slightly tedious having to keep going back between the two characters, because quite often one character would be quite far back compared to the
It's
one
true.
you can.
You do have to, you do have to sort of cover things twice. I noticed that. I was at first a little annoyed by it, but I feel like I wrote something about it. Experiencing the same moments twice is not repetitive for me because it felt like a kind of a different experience.
Yeah,
moving
and
between the
it's not. It
environment.
just seemed weird that you were so far ahead of the other character at some points.
Yeah, but
But
there
I
are
ca-
lots of checkpoints along the way.
But the aesthetics were just
The
great.
aesthetics are amazing.
I love the
graphics are
perspectives, especially the
Yeah.
shadow girl. Some of the perspectives when they're on the floor and then on the wall and then back on the floor
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
and going around corners.
Yeah.
I really, really thought it was very cool. So I was very impressed. And I will definitely play more. This is a perfect, by the way, for the Steam Deck. This is kind of like a mobile game, so it fits
Yeah.
brilliantly.
Chinny, your thoughts?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was elegant is the word that I thought of when you described it as elegant. Very elegant, very clever. A mix between Limbo and Little Nightmares.
Yeah,
I thought the
definitely.
puzzles were interesting and it kept you guessing, but at the same time you sort of knew what to do. And there's a rewind function which doesn't really fit in with the story at all, other than to stop making the game very frustrating. So it reminded me of a game called The Pedestrian, and The Pedestrian is like a 2D game that's played on real 3D like warning signs and things like that.
Yeah.
But where The Pedestrian doesn't really, where it fails is the element of it being a real 3D sign is that you can move the sign around. But this is, I feel like, a lot more of a sophisticated reason to have a 2D character on a 3D environment, because you're affecting the 3D environment, which then affects the 2D environment, which affects the 3D environment, and it keeps going back and forth. I thought it was great. The only thing I didn't like was the girl's voice. I thought she was quite annoying sounding. A little. I didn't
didn't actually mind that, to be fair.
That feeds into something that I was thinking about a lot when I was playing this game. A lot of games like this, and I think it's true about Little Nightmares, but I don't really know. they rely on using smaller kids. And with regards to the story, it has to do with a girl trying to deal with trauma. And I often wonder if it would be a different how different the experience would be if we had a slightly older kid or like a teenage kid or whatever it is, or an adult woman. So, the
yeah.
shadow, it does have to do also with loneliness and like being abandoned and stuff. And like the world you move around in is the child's world. This is their playroom we're looking at on the
I mean,
screen.
like as soon as it started, I was like, okay, I think this game's going to be a bit about abuse and be about like loneliness and child abuse, which is a dodgy topic to tackle. But I honestly sort of, not in a bad way, but forgot about, because when I first sort of thought, okay, this game's going to be about abuse, and I was like, right, okay, I know exactly the beats of this game and all this sort of stuff. And then it starts to turn into a 3D game. As soon as the game part comes in, I actually forgot about all that stuff, and which I quite liked. I like, it wasn't hammering the point of like, this game's about abuse and being sad.
Right, and I feel like the elegance of, and when I say elegant, I'm not just talking about the way it looks, because it does look elegant, but the design of the puzzles is also very elegant.
The design is the elegant
listeners,
part.
But it is all right, and so the 3D girl, the girl moving around the 3D world, can't go into the light. She's scared of the light. The girl on the shadow wall, obviously she needs shadows to stand on. So light does two different things for these different characters. And it's interesting because the story also gets into the interplay of shadow and light, good and evil, confidence and fear, being alone versus being around people. And so I really like the fact that it's playing visually with that yin and yang, and it's playing thematically with it throughout the story as well. If I could just say a few more things here, I don't want to go on too far, but it's not based on precise timing, which I really like.
Yeah.
A lot of games like this are going to require you to do the same platforming bit 100 times because you can't get the timing right. This doesn't really work like that.
No.
There's a couple spots here and there that are, but for the most part, it's not, which I love. Again, that contributes to the elegance of it. Also, when you go into the library, the books like pull away and go onto the shelf. It's such a beautiful little moment. And the game is filled with stuff like that.
I like I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something. Forget it. I forgot. Go on, Dick. Sorry.
At one point, they get onto a little paper boat, and the music hits so perfectly when you get to that spot. They really did a good job of incorporating the musical elements and the gameplay elements.
Yeah, I
like
the music. The music swap, like it's more eerie and sort of surreal with the shadow character, and it's more piano based with the 3D character.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Now, with all that glowing positivity out of the way, I will say two things that frustrated me. One is not super frustrating, but we don't get very much resolution for the story at the end. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I was going to say,
if
sometimes
you're hoping,
with stories like that, you don't, do you?
Right, but I mean, like, not even like, here's what's going on. Like, it's left, a lot of it is left kind of up in the air. And that's so a lot of the discussions on Steam, therefore, are like, well, what's going on? And here's one theory.
What do we think it means?
Right, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, that, I kind of like stories like that to some extent. But just so that people have their eyes open. I don't know if you finished it, Chinny, but
no.
Yeah. So, whatever. For whatever it's worth, I was hoping for some sort of like, I didn't want it like, here's everything that's happening, but I wanted to be able to take certain parts of this narrative that I had experienced so far and plug them into spots, and you can't really do that. But again, that's okay, especially if you think about it in terms of what's called diegetic storytelling. Most of the time, people don't say things to each other the way that an audience would need to hear it in order to piece it together, right? So when this little girl is talking to her shadow, she's saying things that they both already know that we can't really piece together in a fully satisfying way. So for whatever it's worth, there's that. The other part is objectively infuriating. I got stuck 4 times, and one of them I should have been able to figure it out as soon as I looked it up online. I was like, man, I could have got that if I had stuck
I
with
hate it
a
when
little
that
longer.
happens.
The other 3, absolutely freaking not, because at the end you get into some mechanics that are not elegant, they're not cute. They fall into the trap of saying we got to keep making this more and more complicated, and it really robs the last few levels of the fun. And so I'm not going to say more than that.
Right, well, we'll see because I will play this.
Yeah. But again, like even with that said, I felt so happy at the end. It felt like such a joyous experience that even that little frustrating bit couldn't ruin it for me. So I just loved it. I'm really glad that y'all liked it. I think Shady Part of Me.
Yeah.
I can't believe I never heard of this before.
No, I've
'cause
never
it came
heard
out
of
in
it.
2020.
So when did this come out? Is it
2020.
not new? I thought it was new.
Yeah, no, I thought it was too, and then I looked and I was like, wait a minute, this is out for a while.
Well, that's the
ago.
trouble with games, dude, because there's so fucking many of them.
So
of
many.
these bastards.
So many
saying.
goddamn games.
No, I
Yeah.
thought it was great, Duke. It's a great recommendation. It's
Yeah.
nice to someone to recommend a game that's actually good.
Yeah,
Stu,
right.
Stu,
How,
just,
how fucking rude.
and I enjoyed playing it. It was.
I wonder if it's still on sale. I'm curious to know if the sale is still happening.
I just saw how they solved. There's like little collectible birds in the game, and I'm watching the gameplay. This guy solved one of them, and I was like, "That is
Yeah.
not what I did to do that," which I quite like. He's like, "There's multiple ways of getting
There's
stuff."
different ways to do it. Yeah, exactly. I'll be honest. As soon as I saw the first bird, and then it was like,
I was
when
like,
you get to a certain
"Nah."
checkpoint, it'll say like 0 out of 87 birds or whatever. I was like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I am not messing.
But
with
that's
that.
one actually that I did get.
It's
and-
still
and I didn't get it.
$5 on Steam right now.
Yeah.
It ends
Yeah.
in 44 hours, so you still have 2 days if you want to get this for $5.
Well,
man.
thank
It's
you,
well
Duke.
worth it.
I appreciate the
Well,
gift.
thanks,
It was
Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
You're welcome. I'm
I'll
glad you
definitely
liked it.
carry on playing it, Duke. So thanks.
Yeah, I will. Definitely.
Merry everyone.
Love to know what you think. Yay.
This is like just a little game you can pick up and play a couple of levels because they're not that long,
Yeah.
are they? None of the levels.
Well,
are
right.
terribly
So there's
long.
like, I think 18, 19 chapters or sessions. And there's lots of checkpoints along the way. So, you can totally just do a couple of the checkpoints.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to finish?
Well, here, I'll tell you exactly how long.
Oh,
since
Tell
I
us,
had it on
Duke. Tell
Steam.
us.
But I will also tell you that at one point I loaded it up and then walked the dog. So, 5.8 hours. So I think that probably about an hour of that was me walking the dog and having lunch.
About
About
4
4
hours.
hours.
4 hours, 5 hours, yeah, something like that. And again, like, here's the thing: I was homesick from school that day, so I was not feeling great when I started it, and I wasn't feeling great when I finished it. But it was so compelling that, like I said, I can't remember the last time because I didn't finish Limbo in a day. I didn't play Inside in just one day. I certainly didn't finish Portal 2 in a day, and I can't think of other games that have been so compelling that I would have.
I feel like I finished Limbo in one playthrough,
Yeah,
when I played
I
it.
did
I
Limbo and Inside. I
Yeah.
did it in one playthrough.
Fair
Yeah, I
enough.
think I did Inside as well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
Not
they're the sort
me.
of games you have to play in
Portal
one
1,
session.
Portal 1, I finished in one go as well.
Yeah,
They
I
certainly
did, Portal
benefit
1.
from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I tend to be very resistant to that in general. So the fact that this got me to keep going was really
Yeah.
something.
No, well, I mean, I
And
played
it also
it.
the fact that I was home from school, like I didn't have those temporal things weighing on me. Normally when I play games, I'm like, okay, I got 2 hours for gaming, and then I got to do this. And I gotta do
Yeah,
that.
it's like right
So,
moment, like right time. It was like, but
Yeah.
I played it before the show tonight about 7 o'clock, and I was
mhm.
playing it pretty much right up to the show started. So yeah, I was
Yeah,
enjoying it.
Sure. Yay! Shady Part of Me, people, check it out.
Shady Part of
Big
me.
thumbs
It's worth every
all
penny
3
for
of us.
$5.
Yeah, or even
It
better
really
if you
is.
can find some sucker to give it to you for free.
Yeah, if you get some sucker who gives you free games, thank you,
Yeah.
Duke. Yeah, it's good. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Right, Chinny, what else have you been playing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
I guess in that case, it's back on me.
I haven't played
then.
a single
on you,
minute,
Stu.
a single minute of God of War this week.
Well, I
Damn,
have, but
too
I'll
busy with
come.
your
I'll
Marvel
come to that
stuff.
last. But before that, I'll talk a little bit about Red Matter 2 because do you know I'm a sucker. I'm an absolute sucker because
Sucker.
like
he
Oculus
don't
or
wanna
Meta
be
or
a
whatever the
sucker.
fuck it is now.
Just like that I think I think.
I'm fucking a sucker because you go, hey, have a 30% off a game voucher and get 30% off any game you like, right? And I'm like, oh, every time they do it, there's some game I've been looking at but never quite got around.
Stuart the
I know,
stingy
I know.
lad.
Anyway,
So
there's
glad I
they're always
recorded
like,
that.
oh, go on, have a game on us. I bet you are. Have a
Yeah.
game on us. So
Right.
I was like, Red Matter 2. I played the first one, really enjoyed it, and everyone's
got
fucking
crab
going, they're
hands.
losing the shit over this.
Okay.
They're all losing the shit though, because we're all like, oh, this is as good as like Half-Life Alex. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, well,
Yay, it's
these
like
are desperate
Half-Life
people
Alyx."
who want to believe that they didn't waste money on their headsets. So
So I'm like, wow, they're comparing this to Half-Life Alex. It must be the second coming of Christ.
let me guess, it's
So,
not.
It's not, no.
It's
But
not.
that being said, it is good. And it looks they have stolen from Half-Life Alex because
Well, yeah, it looks like it's
the
same
gravity gloves
aesthetics.
are gravity claws.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you can just pick stuff up by just aiming at it and flicking your wrist, and it works just as well, right? So some things
Okay.
are equally good. Graphically,
It's a lot like Stummies.
it's not like stummies. Graphically, though, for a game that is like running on a mobile chip like a phone, I don't know how they've squeezed this much out of the Oculus Quest 2, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And this is Quest 2 only. You can't get this on the original Quest because
There's no other way to play it. People Quest
because
2
it
is
just
it.
wouldn't run. I mean, I don't know how they've got it to run on this, to be quite honest. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, the moon looks amazing. Like, you start off on the moon base. Like,
Nice.
the jetpack boost thing just works perfectly. It's
Okay.
smooth. There's no glitchiness. It looks sharp.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it. I mean, I've played quite a bit of this. The puzzles are pretty cool.
So
And
when
it's a
you
bit-
said Red Matter 2, I thought maybe it would take place on Mars, but this is on the moon. Why is it
No,
called Red Matter 2?
Red Matter's this sort of like mineral that they've found that does weird stuff.
Gotcha.
And so you go from here to a base, and I think the first one is set on Mars. I'm almost sure it is. I could be wrong, but I think the
Gotcha.
first one's set on Mars. But you end up on Saturn in this game. So you start off on the moon base, and you get in this little shuttle thing to take you to Saturn, and you go to this like space station built inside an asteroid, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And I'll be honest, the vistas of Saturn and the rings and everything are right next to where this base is. Look, you're in one of the asteroids in the belt, and it like fucking hell, this looks amazing. I'll be honest, I am massively impressed aesthetically so far.
Yeah, it
Not
looks
as sure
very nice.
it does. Not so sure I'll be as impressed with the story, but it's intriguing at the moment. So you've gone looking for this other like scientist stroke, I don't know, astronaut, whatever it is, who's gone like missing. And
Right.
you're basically trying to follow his trail and find out what happened to him at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's so cool. It's so cool. You can pick up everything. You can mess with everything. The physics work really well. You can throw stuff around. And they go like Half-Life, Alex, they go where you expect them to go. So when you throw something in game, a lot of the times in VR games, you throw them and they don't really react like they would in the real world.
Right.
But in this game, not that it's much use because you don't really need to throw a lot of stuff. It's just fun to do it.
You got gravity pull it to you.
Yeah, exactly. You can gravity pull it, then you
Yeah.
can throw it away, and it goes where you expect it to go. And I don't know why that's cool. They've got liquid in bottles, and you can tip them up and down, and it looks like real liquid sloshing around inside them.
Yeah.
And I know these things are just all
Real
purely
liquid.
but it's all that attention to detail that these guys have done.
Stuart, stop whining about minor aesthetic details.
I know, but these guys have spent time, making all these things work like they're supposed to work in the real world with physics and stuff and equations. I don't know. They're very intelligent people, I'm guessing.
I guess.
To make stuff work, just work.
Yes.
Chinny,
I know,
out
it
of
makes
interest,
sense.
although they've
Yeah.
for VR, the darts game and the bowling.
Yeah.
They've just released 4 VR pool.
Uh-huh.
So there's now a pool, like a pool game, and it's getting pretty good reviews. So we should
Right.
maybe play some pool, although it is 14 quid.
I'm
I know. I know.
I'm
I haven't bought
sorry.
it yet myself. I've looked at it and thought, it could be quite good.
I don't even know if my Quest still works.
I know, yeah. Yeah, does it still charge? Yours weren't charging properly last time. you
Yeah,
tried
some
it,
weird
was it?
thing with it. Like, it doesn't charge.
And in addition, the Mist course has come out on the golf game.
Well, no one cares about that.
Oh, you can play golf on Mist Island?
Yeah. So all the holes are built in
Hey.
all the different things in Mist.
Okay. Now I'm on board here.
Now you're talking.
When you,
So I
when, you,
get a
when you
headset.
put the ball, does it make the mist noise?
I don't know. I think I'm going to probably buy it because I do like that game.
That'll
Yeah,
be a
let's
good
hope it
touch.
does that every time you get a ball in the hole or something. That
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
good.
Ball in.
Ball in the hole. But them guys, I'll tell you what, they keep bringing new courses out all the time. They're always bringing new courses out.
Yeah.
They've
they
got a
do.
50,000 Leagues Under the Sea course now as well, so that might be pretty cool. or whatever it is, 60,000, however many thousand leagues.
20,000 leagues under the sea.
20,000. There you go.
Right. Jules Verne, baby. Mwah. Viva
got
la
one of
vie,
those.
Jules Verne.
We got one of those.
This is my son, Jules and Vern.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Like
we need to
observation
play
dogs.
poker
I'm
again at
Mariah.
some point. And
I'm
then they've got craps. We still haven't played craps yet.
Craps, yeah.
We need to play some craps.
Yeah. Don't
So
know
we
how
need
to
to
play.
sort that out. We need to sort out a poker night, stroke golf, stroke, I don't know,
Pool.
craps, pool, craps, poker, shit. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Right. All of that
So
stuff.
there you go. It's pretty good.
There you
All the
go.
good stuff.
Right.
Dude, back to you.
Yeah. So in my efforts to find an RPG that will satisfy me and fill the hole where I used to fill it with Guild Wars 2, I played more Dragon Warrior 11. I had played once upon a time, so don't queue it up. There's nothing to say about it. But
I
I've
thought you
gotten
was
to the
going to
end
say
of the
Dragon
demo
Age
part.
Equiweek then for a second.
No. I shut the door on that. Anyway, but I'm going to be playing some more Dragon Quest 11, so maybe I'll have some more to say about that next week. But yeah, Edge of Eternity is another JRPG that I played a little bit this week, and the first thing they start with is this very cute picture of a developer with like 10 post-its on his screen, and it's talking about how they're a small developer and they're sorry for mistakes that are in the game, but they're trying to fix them all and whatever. And I just thought that was a nice humanizing touch for the developer to include this little cartoon of themselves.
Don't leave a bad review. We're only shut up. Shut up.
Well, this is on Game Pass, so it's not even about reviews on Steam. I mean, I suppose you could get reviews, but yeah, it's not too small a studio because it does look pretty nice in terms of the aesthetics of this game. But the info dumping, it's not a well-told story. Like every line in the first half hour is like, when you joined this squad of elite soldiers, you knew you were leaving your family behind and blah, 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 blah. Oh, stop. Read a book about how to tell a story, please. I'm begging you. And yeah, now here's the flip side of that. There's some painful moments at the start of the game. Like they're not afraid to kill off characters. And I was like, damn, I expected this squad to be like fighting together throughout the whole game. No, that does not happen. Spoiler alert, someone dies. And, there's a lot of melodrama and cheese. The pacing is really flawed in this game. So it would have been pretty painful and emotionally impactful if they hadn't had all the, the overwrought emotions and the screaming and it had a good setup, but it did not execute the loss very well. So, and I wanted to find a save point because I had finished, what I wanted to do with the game that night. And I'm like, okay, I wanted to go do something else now. I'm trying to ride the bike more to be healthy. And, yeah, I just didn't have a save point, no save point. And eventually I got to one, but it was like, why did I have to wait so long to get to a save point? Like, what are you doing to me, game? So, I mean, look, it's kind of, so the combat is more satisfying than Red Nexus because it is grid-based and it's turn-based. Now, I know a lot of people don't like turn-based combat, but I happen to like it. And by the way, the combat in Dragon Warrior 11 is classic turn-based. And it works well. So I really like the combat in Dragon Warrior 11. The combat in this is okay. It's, how would I describe the combat in this?
How would you describe the combat, Duke?
It's trying to be a little different because it's got like a hex grid instead of just like people in the front or the back. But I don't know. It felt overly dramatic. Again, it feels like there's a lot of melodrama in the combat. So that it's like, oh, I'm going to attack now. Like, oh, you're going to wake up. Like, go for it. And all this stuff. And it's like, why are y'all yelling at each other? Like, you're fighting this robot monster. Okay, just fight it. So
it's what they do. It's what they do, Duke.
Yeah. And then there's this whole other story that you get to the top of this mountain because you're on this planet that's being attacked and you need to find the other people who are fighting against the invasion. And then like, you get to the top of the mountain and there's some weird ritual where they're consuming the souls of people. And it's not the invaders. It's the people that you're working with ostensibly. And you're like, what is going on here? And they're like, you know too much. And then it's like, you need to die now. And it's like, what? And then
God.
you kind of like black out, and then it goes like 2 years later, and then you go to a village, and it's like everything's cool. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought our planet was being ripped apart by the corrosion and these invaders, but I'm going to this village to hang out, and it's just like, I'm so confused.
Can I just check? This isn't an MMO, is it? This is
No,
just
it's
an
not.
RPG.
This is a single player RPG. It's one of like 5 that exists on Game Pass. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And when I wasn't wowed by this, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Dragon Warrior.
You know what, Duke?
11.
I don't like this.
I don't
You know
blame
why?
I don't really like it either.
You know why?
Why do you not like it,
I
Chief?
feel like they know it's shit, but they put that thing at the start to say, look, we know it's shit, but like we're not.
But be nice, come on.
Yeah, and I
It's
don't
not
like
shit.
it.
That's the thing, is that like there's some things about this I really like.
Potential.
It has potential. but
It's
not
potentially
executed
shit,
very well.
is what you're
By the way,
saying.
it's Dragon Quest 11. They dropped Warrior after like the 3rd one or something. So it's Dragon Quest 11S. I don't know what the S is for, but you know how to do
Super.
it. These Japanese games. It's like
Sexy.
Stupendous.
great,
Sexy.
everything's
Sexy.
cool. So,
Yeah, sexy.
Right, exactly. So anyway, Edge of Eternity, not for me, not great, but maybe other people would like it if you are.
Why,
into-
when you're in combat, right, do sort of the characters just jiggle from side to side? I see that a
Because
lot.
they're
Jiggle,
waiting
jiggle,
for their
jiggle.
chance to
They're
attack.
waiting.
moving
They're
back and
ready to
forth.
go.
Like when
A
you
little
watch
bit of
people play
jiggle, man.
tennis, they don't just stand perfectly still before the ball is served.
Well,
they,
I guess
they're
that's what
bouncing
these
back and
dudes
forth to
do.
be ready, man. You do judo, you need to be ready to like flip the other person or whatever.
Soul Brother is in the chat. Say hello to Soul Brother.
What up?
Hey,
Hey,
soul
dude.
brother.
I'm gonna turn on the light because it's getting dark.
Jiggle, jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. That's what they do. I don't know.
Jiggy with it. Nah.
It's a little bit weird. I always find it a bit
Oh
weird.
my God, Duke just twerked on the show.
No, he didn't, did he?
He did.
God,
You missed
nobody
it.
wants to see that.
Yeah, they
No,
do.
I'm
Who
seeing
wants
it
to
on the
see it?
stream now. I'm seeing it
Fortunately,
on
the mic
stream.
covered me up a lot, so there's that.
Yeah.
Good
not,
job.
Not a whole
Yeah.
lot, to be fair, Duke.
It weren't that big. It's not that
Well,
big.
I
in
need
my
a bigger mic
microphone.
if I'm gonna
Yeah.
cover myself up
Yeah,
properly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Ah!
need
God.
we're gonna need a
Fat
bigger
ass
mic.
Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
Okay, so Stu, it's back to you, I guess, huh?
Yeah, the final game I have played this week is, of course, God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm way into this game now. So I'm sort of a long way in now. I've been playing it I've played other stuff in between, sort of slightly, just so I've got something else to talk about on the show. But God of War's kind of taken over. And I kind of do agree with Chinny to an extent in what he said last week of it being more of the same. Because kind of that's what it is. But it's more of the same, a polish that most games only aspire to.
Correct. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had more of the same Red Dead 2, I would
Yeah.
be picking that game up. But it is more of the same.
It is more of the same, but the combat's cool. You keep getting extra shit, as you progress through the game. It's like, here, I've this now. I've still not found Tyr, by the way. So at the beginning of the game, you're on a quest to track down Tyr, who's going to give some help or advice or start a war or something. I'm not really sure. I don't know whether you gleaned what was going on, Chinny. But Tyr's going to do something.
Tyr is the key to sort of stopping Ragnarok, I think. And
Yeah, apparently.
the
So you're looking for him. So
How
I'm at
many
the
hours are you in?
mines now. I have no idea. Probably about 6, 7, I guess.
bloody hell, Jesus Christ, yeah.
I'm at the mines, so I'm sort of halfway through all the mines and stuff.
Right.
So I've been on a boat, I've been on a train,
Lovely.
and yeah, now I'm sort of. It's kind of cool. It does this really cool thing of, like, you go through the mines in a boat and you see all the shiny stuff, the stuff you can pick up, but you can't get to it because you're on a boat in this channel.
Yeah.
And then you backtrack, so you go through all the areas that you passed on the boat, which is kind of cool. So
Yeah.
you see all the stuff you're about to go through on foot, and sort of fight enemies and bosses, and there's some good boss fights, I must admit. I fought this big dragon thing, and it was really cool. Do you know what this game does better than any other game?
Scale.
Violence.
Well, scale, but finishers. Yeah, violence,
Finishers,
finishers.
Yeah,
Like
violence,
when you,
baby.
but then finishing moves are always completely brutal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
they're
mean? If it's like, Like there's they're like these mini bosses, I guess, that are they're like these monkey things, and they're quite big. And the finisher, he grabs it by the head, stabs it multiple times in the belly, and then cuts it in half. You know, it's just like, wow, he just did that. I mean, Kratos, he doesn't do anything by halves. He's not shy.
Sometimes he cuts people in half.
Yeah, he does. He's not shy about chopping people up into pieces, is he? Really?
Are you so you enjoying it still? You disappointed?
I am.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I'm getting. I must admit, getting the chest with the runes on or whatever, that you have to find the hidden runes.
No, I don't think I got that far. So. Oh yeah, well maybe
Well,
I did.
they were
I
in
don't
the
know.
they were in the first game where
Right.
they had the sort of, you had to either shoot them or do something with these runes to open a chest.
Okay.
And then you get a level up for your character. Would it be health or rage or whatever it may be.
Okay.
Rage is still cool, by the way. So yeah, they're kind of satisfying. You find those, and they're like a little puzzle in themselves. Just trying to work out either A, what you've got to do, and B, where are they? Where are they in the level? Hidden.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. It's just cool. I mean, I've got to the bit now where it's more open world.
Right.
So it's more, but it's also Metroidvania. There's areas that it says, oh, you can't get to this area yet.
Right.
But you will be able to later, sort of thing, and then locks it out on you.
Sure.
So there's stuff like that to do as well.
Who tells you can't do it? The head.
No, it's on screen actually. Weirdly, yeah, no, the head doesn't. It just comes up on screen, and
I thought the head might say it like.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he might.
Looks
say
like you
something
can't
as
do
well.
this right now.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does say that, but then it comes up on screen locked till later or something like that. Come back later. So I know there's more powers I'm going to get, which will enable me to get to these other areas, which at the moment I can't do. But do you know what, Chinny? So far, so good. I'm leveling up my armor. I've leveled up my weapons. I've got runes in everything now, so I can do really good fire attacks, really good frozen attacks.
Which weapon are you sort of?
I'll be
maining?
honest, it's the Blades of Chaos. Are they called the Blades of Chaos?
Blades of Chaos. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Blades of Chaos that I'm favouring at the moment, and I'm leveling them up more. Because you get materials like rawhide and I don't know, stuff.
I like the axe though. I think the axe is good.
The axe is good, but I feel like you can, when you use the blades, it's cool because it's kind of a more ranged attack.
It's on fire.
So, yeah, and they're on fire. Who doesn't like fire?
Yeah,
I just think it's cool. And again, like Red Dead Redemption 2 and games of that ilk, this game shines just because of the attention to detail.
Oh yeah.
Like everything, the graphics, the environments, the puzzles, the combat, the enemies, like everything's just got this extra layer of polish that other games don't tend to have. And I think that's what makes this game stand out. And you can tell the passion and effort that's gone into making this compared to everything else that's around.
Yeah.
It's just a whole other level, really. And it runs fine. I'll be honest. I did have one moment when the PlayStation 4 spat its dummy out and everything went like very, very slow.
I can't do this.
Yeah, it was just like in like pixels, slow motion. I was like, wow, I hope this isn't a regular thing, but it's never done it since. It's only ever done that once. But it does sound like an aeroplane taking off. So the PS4, I think this is probably as much as you can push that console, really.
Oh, it's not going further than this.
No, I don't think it is. And it looks amazing. I mean, it looks incredible. And the HDR works really, really well on it. When you go into somewhere dark and the way the colours contrast, etc., it looks amazing.
Have you got a HDR TV?
Of course.
Oh.
I have an OLED.
Okay.
So I have a very fancy TV. Although I'll be honest, it's a bit of a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
So it's a cool OLED telly which costs a lot of money, but it has to refresh itself all the time. If you have it on more than 4 or 5 hours in one go, it's like need to turn off for 10 minutes to refresh the pixels.
Okay.
So it's sort of, It is a bit of a obviously it's a bit high tech, too high tech for its own good. And it does this other weird thing called pixel shift. So basically what it does is when you turn it on again, it uses a different set of pixels so you don't get any screen burn and stuff like that.
All right.
Because it's a little bit like plasma in that sense. So they've had to come up with all these ways to stop you getting any sort of retention of image.
Yeah.
But because it's OLED, the blacks look really black.
Right.
So it just, the contrasts are just excellent. The contrast ratio looks amazing.
Yeah.
Because do you know how an OLED works, Duke?
I just heard of how it works. It's the pixel shift and the saving of the
Yeah,
things
no.
and
So
the screen
basically,
burn.
I know
Like a
unlike
plasma in that sense.
a traditional
You have to reset it
LCD
every once in a while.
or anything like that, what OLEDs do is they only light up the pixels that the picture needs to use.
Yeah, of course.
So it doesn't light
So
any
it's
of the other
different from
pixels up.
elictative.
Yeah. So basically, so the blacks are black because they're not lit up at all.
Yeah, it's actually black.
It is actually black. Yeah,
Yeah.
But it looks cool on the telly anyway. So yeah, I'm
I
very
believe you.
impressed. It does. 4K HDR looks amazing. If you've got a I think if you've got a PS4 still and you haven't invested in a PS5, this is probably the last game to play on it. Because this still looks amazing on a PS4 Pro. I don't know what it'd run like on a normal PS4, but on the Pro it's fine. It just sounds very loud. But yeah, amazing.
Sure.
There you go. Nothing else to say.
There you go.
Great game.
Okay. Right. My last
Dude.
game. My last game is
Go.
called Perseus Titan Slayer. So this is a roguelike that has it takes place there's a number of titans and members of Greek mythology, and they talk about Hades. There's a character named Hades, and I don't know why this roguelike would keep mentioning Hades. It's weird that a roguelike would talk about Hades a lot. If I didn't know any better, I'd think that this roguelike is trying to cash in on the success that the roguelike Hades had, since that was such a successful roguelike. The difference is this game is not excellent. And I haven't played Hades, but I hear nothing but good things about
You
it.
should play Hades then, maybe.
I heard that Hades is a good roguelike.
I've heard
game.
good
Yeah,
things.
maybe play that. Maybe play that game.
Good things about what?
Hades isn't Hades on Game
Hades.
Pass? I think it's
Hades,
on
yeah.
Game Pass. Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
know. I don't look at Game Pass.
It is, yeah.
It's on Game Pass.
It is.
I play games on Steam like a cool
Play it on
person.
Game Pass, you idiot.
Don't tell me what to do.
You're such
You
an
already gave me a
idiot.
game for next week. I don't remember what it is, but I heard about it.
Somerville.
Prevemville, right? Somerville.
Yeah, Somerville. Keep saying
Summertown,
it.
got it. All right.
Somerville.
So this is a roguelike, and first of all, when you pull up screens and there's a little X to close the screen, escape should also close the screen. There's no reason why escape should
Correct.
not close a thing if you're playing on the PC. Get it together, developers. It's not that hard. As soon as you start playing, and the whole thing is like click somewhere on the map where you're going to go fight, and then they give you two options. You can do the advanced quest challenge, you can do the regular quest challenge. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Just give me something to do. You run around and you kill things all day.
I'm just looking at it. This looks like Hades.
Imagine that.
No, it doesn't.
It
It looks
mentions
nothing like
Hades a
Hades,
lot.
by the way.
Yeah, well.
It doesn't look anything like
It's quite a
Hades.
good looking game, though.
No, it
There's
looks
a lot of
li- it-
monsters and you got to kill them. That's just like Hades.
It looks like
It
Vampire
looks-
Survivors, but 3D.
I was just about to say, it looks
Yeah,
like Vampire
it's not-
Survivors, but more fancy.
See, and this person plays it so differently from me. I go running through people, and this person's just running along the outside of people. So
Which is probably a good tactic.
there's so much going on. I did okay with it, to be honest. I was surprised that I didn't get killed more.
It's basically a fancy-looking Vampire Survivors. That's what
It's
this is.
trying to be Diablo. It's not Diablo. It's not really that fun.
Yeah, but it's like Gauntlet, isn't it? There's fucking thousands of enemies.
I mean, that's true, but Gauntlet was fun. This isn't fun. It's just
I don't know. It
you
looks
part
fun.
of what. Well, why don't you fucking play it and you can tell everybody how much fun it is then? Jesus
It
Christ.
looks fun.
Does it? Tell me more about
I
how
think
it
it looks.
looks.
It looks pretty fun.
Stu, you didn't play it.
Yeah. I didn't play it. No.
Well, since when does that matter?
Yeah, no, does that matter? I can tell you how it looks.
As soon
Looks
as you
fun.
start it up,
Stu.
it's funnier every time. You just say it again. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Does it look? Anyway, as soon as you start it up, it tells you like, okay, upgrade your shit, and I'm like, what? Upgrade what? I have no money. I have no skill points. What am I supposed to be upgrading? But as soon as you clear a level, then it's like upgrade your shit, and now you have money. Now you have skill points. So you buy stuff with your money and you buy stuff with your skill points.
And did you upgrade your shit?
Yeah. And then
Was
it's
it
like,
more
here's another
fun?
wave of enemies to fight. And it's like, okay, like now I'm a little better at killing them because I have new stuff. And then you want to buy more stuff and it goes, maximum of 6 items. And I'm like, okay, how do I take an item off? And it's like maximum of 6 items. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. It doesn't make any sense. I was very underwhelmed by Perseus Titan Slayer. So Hardly Dan says it looks fun. More power to you. Give it a shot. It's free. Demo
See,
on
Dan
Steam.
agrees with me. It looks fun.
Yeah, well, let's see if he thinks it actually is fun when he plays it. You could play it too, Stu. It's free on Steam.
I know, I'm just looking now. I might download this because it looks fun.
Go ahead, download it. Tell us what you think.
It looks fun.
That's great. More power to you. I
It's
hope
not
it
out
is
yet,
fun
is
for
it,
you.
by the
Do you
way?
have
I
somebody
want
that looks
someone to
after
enjoy
you,
it.
Stu?
I'm not the type
Sometimes.
of person to say I didn't like this game and therefore I hope nobody likes
It
it.
depends whether I've
That would
taken
be
my
a weird thing to
medication
say.
or not.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
Graphics are good. Aesthetics are good. Escape should close a window. It's not fun. Meh is what I wrote. Meh.
It's
a
not
very,
fun,
very
but it
meh
looks
kinda
fun.
game.
What did you say was meh last week? You said something was meh last week.
We said meh. M-E-H. Meh.
Yeah, Titan, Marvel Bang, whatever it is.
Oh, Marvel
Oh,
Snap,
yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Marvel
Right.
Snap, yeah, that was meh
DC
too, apparently.
Snap, that's not great.
You see, I don't think it's a good idea to go off Duke's recommendations or not
This looks
because
pretty
You
meh.
said you liked this shady part of me. What are you talking about?
that is true. That
Yeah.
is
All
true.
right, then,
but
shut your
but
mouth.
Chinny loves Marvel Snap, and you said that was
Well,
meh.
it's horses for courses, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. No. If somebody likes it, they have to love it, and if not,
Yeah, that's true.
everyone has to love what I love as much as
Everyone
I love
has
it.
to love that. Jude, that's not true. I don't. I
Anyway,
don't
that's my
force
games.
on people.
Done.
Don't
Moving
force
on.
games people. Yeah, let's do some news. We've got news, people. There's loads of news
Okay,
this
here
week.
comes.
Putting news first.
I've only gotten through 2 of these. I would hope I had the whole
Yeah,
stack.
after
done.
I'll be honest, after the drought of news over the last few weeks, we finally turned a corner. So here we
Okay.
go. First news this week. Big news this week. First news. Dead Island 2's been delayed again to 2023.
Huge news.
Okay.
Huge.
fucking news. Huge. Yeah, April apparently it's finally coming out. I mean, at one point people thought this game had been cancelled, didn't they? They were like, that game's never coming out. So who knows? Apparently it's coming April 28th next year. Are you excited, Ginny? It's been a long time since a Dead Island game came out.
No, don't care.
No, I don't think I am. I mean, I don't even know what to think anymore. I mean, the original Dead Island was fun.
No, the
No.
original Dead Island wasn't that great.
It was all right in co-op though. It was fun to play
It wasn't
together.
great. It was janky, and no one really liked
Yeah.
it. They liked it. It had a lot of hype because of the trailer, and it had a lot
Yeah.
of expectations, and it actually turned out to be very, very bland.
I suppose so.
Because remember that trailer? Everybody loved that trailer, and they thought it was going to be this big emotional roller coaster ride, and they actually turned out to be very sort of just whack 'em and smack 'em. So no.
Well,
uh,
it was
yeah.
quite deep.
And it was
That
actually
looks like
Dying-
fun, Shinny.
Dying
like
Light,
fun.
which was the better game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we were all excited for Dying Light 2, and neither of us have played it.
Well, it's the time and the place, isn't it? Things change. So
I
no, I'm not
guess.
excited for Dead Island 2. I don't care unless like somebody come out and says like it's the second coming, which I doubt it will be. So nah.
Do you think you'll be able to kill girls in bikinis again and dudes in shorts? I don't know.
That's not what I'm into, Stu. If you're into that, that's
I didn't know whether you
fine.
were. I'm just saying, in the first game, that was a thing.
Well, it's...
That was a thing. Because it starts off in a hotel, doesn't it, in the first game?
I think this one's in like
And-
San Francisco, though. I think.
Yeah, on an island, and you can obviously it's an island though. So what island is it if it's in San
I don't think it
Francisco?
is
That's
actually an
not-
island. That's the funny thing. I don't.
Well,
think
that's a
it-
fucking weird name for a game.
Yeah, well, it can't be called Dead Peninsula, can it?
Yeah, it's a bit weird though.
So yeah, no, I'm not that bothered. Not that
Yeah.
bothered. What's next?
Touching God of War Ragnarok tribute honors developer who passed away during production.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty
And I
cool.
didn't know that. I came across this, and it's like a green love heart with some symbols in it.
Right.
And I saw it painted on a rock.
Could we
and I
put
was
it on
like,
the
"Oh,
screen? That would be interesting to see.
I don't know. I don't know. I can do that. I guess. Well, I can't do it, but I can. I can.
If only we had
I can
someone in
send
charge
the
of that.
link to Chitty, and he can put it on screen.
Maybe.
We should do like a show notes page on Google Docs so that we can
Well,
put the news there,
I'll think
and then
about
people
that,
can
but
easily just click and.
I'll be honest.
It's very complicated to do that. I know.
Well, that's not the problem. To be fair,
Yeah. What
the
is
problem is I only did the news thing as we were talking.
Ah,
doing the
you're
show.
not. It's thinking ahead of time then. Okay.
No.
Okay.
So I
Well.
don't know. I didn't do it for some reason. It
Maybe
won't
people
paste.
should
think before they speak. I should think before we speak because I've copied it, but I can't paste it in the chat now.
You
It's
do
like,
sound.
"Ugh."
You sound like a 50-year-old now.
I feel like a fucking 50-year-old most of the time, to be quite honest. It won't
I'm
paste.
surprised there's no screenshot in this article I'm looking at. The IGN
There
article
we
does not
go.
have a screenshot.
That's a bit weird.
All right.
So there you go.
There you go.
So anyway, I haven't even said what it means. So basically,
say
this
what it
part, and
means.
I was like, oh. It's not integral to the main story, but it does relate to one of the game's favourite side quests. If you're keen to avoid any spoilers, please refrain from reading further. So as
Sorry,
well as you-
people. Well, listen up if you don't want
Minus
spoilers.
spoilers. As players, I don't know what they meant, so I don't even know what this means. So as players made their way around the realms, they noticed love hearts adorning the environments. These hearts are connected to the Across the Realms side quest. And this quest tells the story of Jari and Somo, a couple who traveled across the realms together and eventually found a place called to call their home. Players can find their camp, the Eternal Campfire in Midgard, and from there start gathering the ingredients necessary for the couple's next dish. However, this in-game love story is actually connected to Sony Santa Monica couple Sam Hendrick and Jake Snipes. The couple met when Snipes started working at Santa Monica in 2019. The two soon became inseparable, traveling across the US together and baking a lot for the studio. But their relationship ended too soon. In 2020, Snipes very sadly passed away due to his epilepsy, leaving Hendrick heartbroken.
Oof.
So that's what it is. So there's a quest
very
within
sweet.
the game that's a tribute to him, which I think is kind
See,
of
that's
cool.
great.
I've seen
yeah,
that.
I love that. We need more stuff like
Didn't
that in
realize
games,
what they
man.
meant.
Like you don't want to
Yeah, we
overdo it
do.
because it could easily make games sappy and saccharine if you had every time you turn around or something like that. But every once in a while, I would love to know that some of the stuff in Skyrim is like a reference to one of the developers or something.
I think what's kind of cool is it's subtle, and if you didn't know, you wouldn't know.
Right,
Do
exactly.
you know what I mean? If you didn't know the story,
and if you did
wouldn't
find
know.
it
It's
without
just
knowing
something
that
they
story,
put
you'd
it.
probably be like, "Oh, I wonder what that is." Like it means something to someone.
Yeah, it's cool little story.
That's the best.
So
kind
yeah,
of Easter egg.
I like that. So that's nice and cool. I like those sort of stories. So a little bit of this super quick news. Elden Ring reaches new sales milestone, outsells Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro combined.
Oh my god.
Which is no surprise because let's be honest, this game has been smashing it this year. And
Just
even
killing
people,
it.
yeah, people like me who like go, I don't even like this game. I bought it anyway, and I still don't like it. I don't know why I bought it.
Yeah,
Because I
well,
thought
you
maybe
know.
this is the one. Maybe this is a game.
Apparently, there are mods you can put on to make it much easier.
I know, and I
the
keep
one
thinking
thing
I'll
I've
do
thought
that.
about doing, but
I've definitely
when it
thought
comes
about
down to
doing that.
$20, I might do that. We'll see.
Yeah, so I thought about it because there's an easy mode. You can make it a hell of a lot easier to play. And I keep thinking I should do that, but I can't do it on the
Yes.
Steam Deck. So I'm like, oh, can I be bothered sitting at my computer to play it or do it on the Steam Link? I suppose I could still do it on Steam Link.
Yes.
Don't
well,
know.
Yeah.
Here's some interesting news. Popular free Superman Unreal Engine 5 demo was stolen and now is
Okay.
being sold as an $11 game on Steam. And it
Oh,
was only
damn.
removed after 2 weeks of people complaining.
Dude.
So people were buying it and someone had nicked the code and put it on Steam as their game and was selling it. So it looks a lot like the Matrix thing. You know when they released that Matrix demo, the first
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
in Unreal Engine
Right.
5, and it looks amazing. It looks a
Yeah.
lot like that. So a Superman demo made Unreal 5 was widely circulated online earlier this year, has been taken and sold on Steam as a game. The original proof of concept demo titled the Superman style fight experience was created by Toybox Games, utilizing the city sample from Epic's game The Matrix Awakens. So that's where it came from. As a sandbox superhero flight in April, Butler Boschmer, also Boschmer, made the playable demo freely available via itch.io, but unfortunately it's here things began to go awry. At the start of November, he was alerted to the fact that an entity calling itself Hero Game Studios had taken his demo, a project he created for fun to show what could be made in Unreal Engine 5, and started selling it on Steam under the name Hero City Superman Edition with an asking price of $10.99.
And it's pure profit. That's the
initially-
best thing about it. It's like total profit right there.
Yeah. Initially, Butler urged his followers to retweet his concerns and report the game on Steam. Later, however, as Hero City Superman Edition continues to be sold despite his best efforts, he took it to Steam discussion boards to warn potential purchasers away, whereupon Hero Game Studios banned him under the guise of hate speech. Butler's next step was to purchase a copy of Superheroes Edition in order to leave a review where he could share his story in more detail. I made this demo myself months ago as a proof of concept using mostly free assets, and several YouTube videos and reviews will confirm this, and I always was open and honest about it. To be safe, I bought this game, my game, to absolutely confirm it was my project, he continued. And I have confirmed that this now, when I played it and found the opening level I created from scratch with a message from me explaining to players how the simple demo works and offers 2 doors to walk through. So basically someone nicked his code and sold it as a game. Some enterprising who thought, I know,
enterprising. That's like someone steals my car and tries to sell it.
Yeah,
Like, what an
exactly.
enterprising young man.
I can't make a game, but I can steal someone else's and sell it for myself.
Well, yeah, it's so much easier. I mean, why would you bother making a game when you can just take
To be
someone else?
fair, if this dude hadn't realized it was happening, this guy could, or whoever's done it, could have got away with it for ages.
Yeah, it's pathetic. There needs to be more. I mean, I feel like Steam has so much shit on it. When you look at, if you do an unfiltered new releases, occasionally I'll go and look at the new demos. There's so much garbage. You think Xbox Indie Game Arcade was bad? Holy crap. There's stuff on there that makes Killer's Dream look good. It's just ridiculous. I think
Killer's Dream's
I would
great.
like
What
to
are you
see
talking
some
about?
sort of I'd like to see some sort of quality control in the Steam demo section, but
That would require work.
yeah,
Yeah, it would. They've got bots that can do all that stuff.
Well, but the bots aren't able to decide whether a game has any quality or not.
Automation.
Yeah, but it's
Automation.
cheaper.
It's
You
just
don't
like,
have to pay
I mean,
someone, do you?
imagine the fact you'll never hear this sentence. I'm sorry, your game isn't quite good enough for us to feature on Steam. Like, that used to be a thing they used to say. Not anymore.
Yeah, well, they don't have to pay the people that do that anymore.
No, they
That's
don't.
true.
Yeah. Final bit of news tonight. It's not really news. Someone did an opinion piece. Now I thought I'd get you two guys' opinion on this. It's
An opinion on opinion.
more so Chinny
I don't know. I don't have many
than
opinions. though.
Duke. Because basically someone's written an opinion piece on VG247 saying 2 years in, the Xbox Series XS still lacks even one killer exclusive. Would you agree or disagree, Chinny?
Yes, but
And does it matter?
well, that's what I was going to say. Like, it's not relevant anymore because I tell you what, the killer exclusive is on the Xbox. I'll tell you what it is.
What is
Game
the killer
Pass.
exclusive? It is.
Game Pass. I, knew you
I
were
think
gonna
I
say
agree.
Game Pass
Yep.
is their killer exclusive.
Yeah, I think
So
you're
it doesn't really
I mean,
matter.
there's not many exclusives on Steam, but it doesn't matter because you get such cheap games. It's like,
Yeah,
fine.
so Steam is the thing that you download if you want to play games on the PC because it's so appealing to download it because it's so easy to use. There's loads of discounts on there. There's a community on there. Everybody uses it. It's just remember before Steam came along. like,
Community in quotes, to be fair. Like,
PC gaming was a mess before Steam, and even when Steam was released, it was still a mess. But they figured it out.
Yes.
So Steam won.
Yes.
You know, Game Pass is their killer app. That's
I
it.
think what's
That's the answer to
interesting,
the question.
right? Yeah, I think what's quite interesting in this article is, but a pretty good yardstick to measure this 2 years is the list of best scoring Xbox Series X and PS5 games on Metacritic so far. Some things are showed. Both have Elden Ring at the top spot, which you have to purchase on both, right? So that's not included in Game Pass. With Hades and Persona 5 Royal securing the bag in multi-platform terms. But both Hades and Persona 5 Royal are Game Pass games. So I think the kicker here is exactly what you just said is Game Pass, because you can play both of those games and you don't even have to purchase them. They're just
So
included
it's
in your
like
Game Pass.
the model has changed. It's like, I mean, it's very similar, isn't it? But what's the best DVD player to buy? Like none.
Right.
Like, who
No.
cares? Like, what should I get? Blu-ray or HD DVD? None.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't work like that anymore. So that's what happens with games. It just doesn't matter anymore. And then soon, my prediction will be, which console should I get? Like none. Just which subscription should I buy into? That's all it'll be.
Yeah, exactly.
You
And
won't-
Xbox is way ahead of the game.
They're way ahead. I mean, the others will catch up, or somebody will swoop in, and others will try it.
I mean, they have got some. They've got Forza Horizon 5,
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Everybody seems to love, and obviously Flight Simulator.
Flights,
Oh,
know,
the
but
killer
again-
app. Like just a million people.
They
Playing
do.
It every day.
People do love that game.
I
fucking
know,
do.
but
But they are all included in Game Pass, and you see, I think people buy PS5 still for the like God of War.
Yeah.
Like
I
The
think
Last of Us.
PlayStation are playing they're fighting a losing battle because they're
But
only
they're
as good.
still reliant on that,
They're only as good as the last one, right?
and
So
they're
they've on-
still
They've only got to have
not-
a flop, and
Yeah, they are.
they're in trouble.
and they're still not including those games day one in PS Plus Ultimate
No.
or whatever it is.
So they've
Which
half
they
put their
should.
they've half put their foot into the subscription model, and it hasn't
Yeah.
worked. And they're probably scratching their heads like, why doesn't the PlayStation subscription model not work as good as the? Well, if you'd have put God of War Ragnarok on it, and the old God of War, and Days Gone, and Uncharted Collection, and Uncharted 4, like people would have snapped it up out your hand, but you haven't done it.
Yeah.
You've pussied out, and Xbox are reaping the rewards because they've gone fully in.
They went fucking both feet first.
They
Every
went mad.
exclusive, like stuff like Somerville. I know it's only a little indie game,
Doesn't
but
matter.
it's kind of a big deal. You know,
Well,
it's by the
look at-
guys who
look
did
at-
Inside and Limbo.
When
and it's
Inside
like, it's
came
probably gonna be
out,
good.
I think Inside came out 2016. Inside came out 2016. I think. Like we bought that with money.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
had to buy it. It's 6 years later, the whole thing's changed. Everything's changed.
Yeah.
The way we buy games, the way we play them, games are much more disposable now because they're on Game Pass.
none of us use our hands anymore. It's
We don't
all
use
with
our hands.
tongues. Gaming
Um,
is just tongue
We
based.
control games with our willies.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
some of us use our tongues. Some of us
Willy
use-
games. They call
But
it.
even stuff like, I mean, and I know it's niche, but even stuff like Immortality being day one Game Pass.
I don't think Immortality
it's
is
one of
niche. I hear a
those-
lot of people saying, a lot of my students were saying this week, I was going to play Call of Duty Warzone 2.0, but I decided to play Immortality instead.
No one ever said
That's
that.
true. Well, they might.
No,
They
said
might be
no
saying
one
that
ever-
dude
no,
this week
no
because
one says that.
it's free
It's
to
it's totally
play.
niche. Yeah,
It's free to play on iPad and Android if you've
saw
got
that, yeah.
Netflix.
I think it's on net. Yeah, it's
Well, the
So
thing about it is that, like Netflix, is they look at algorithms and they look at what people are watching and then they make more of that, right?
yeah,
so
exactly.
these bad Christmas films that come out on Netflix,
Ugh.
people watch those things and then they make
Yeah, I was
more of those
amazed to see
things.
they did a Christmas Story sequel. Like, there's a new movie based on Christmas Story now. It's like him all grown up. I can't imagine it's gonna have anything close like the same emotional impact, but I'm curious.
They watch, they know that people love a good old crime documentary, so they make
Yeah.
more of those. They turn the screw where people are.
Yeah.
So that's what will happen on Game Pass. If people like these sort of niche games, they go, all right, well, there is a market for it. People are playing these games,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're winning games of the year and all this sort of stuff. So it's good for us. It's good
Yeah.
for the people playing them. So we'll make
Right.
more of those games.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
the like I'm just picking up genre out the air. Like if a real time strategy game, which is the kind of game I like, goes on,
Yeah.
and like Halo Wars 2, for example, and then no one plays it, they're like, well, okay,
Yeah.
we won't fund real time strategy
Those
games.
three dorks who played that, who gives a crap?
Who gives
I
a
mean,
crap?
the thing to consider, I suppose, is it might have the best exclusives, but what
But it's
it
got
does
the
have
it's got the diversity, hasn't it?
is diversity, decent games, and a lot of those games are day of release.
Yeah.
Will be on that. So even if they're not exclusive to Xbox, you get them with Game Pass, or you've got to buy them with you've got a Sony PS5 or a PS4. You've got to pay for those games.
It's an
Or you
amazing
just get
deal.
them included in your subscription.
What they have is an
which you
amazing
gonna do?
deal. They just have an amazing deal. Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's just,
it's
you know, it's
it's
mad.
the best value proposition. It's the best value
Exactly.
proposition. That's what it is.
Yep.
So I genuinely don't think it matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
At this point in time, I think it's nice for them to. No, I think it's nice for them to still be releasing exclusive games, but it really isn't the be all and end all, and it doesn't really matter that much anymore because, like you said, the major selling point, the unique selling point is Game Pass.
Yeah,
because that's not on any other system. They're trying to copy it, but they're not brave enough. Sony haven't got the balls to do it.
No.
They ain't got the balls, man.
All right, we're going in circles here, Stu. You're doing that thing where you repeat
Yes, we
everything.
are.
I'm sorry. And that's it.
Moving
for
on,
news
next
this
news
week.
story.
That's it. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So we
Thank you,
have got
news.
a couple of emails.
Keep the
Let's
emails
do
coming
that.
in, people. Keep the emails coming
Whoa, that ruled.
in. We need to do a better job of asking for emails, so please send them in.
Emails, people. Come on, let's get them happening. You send us an
Yeah,
email
send
right
some
now.
more emails.
Podcast at veterangamers.co.uk.
Podcast@veterangamers.co.uk.
No more excuses. Don't make me come over there and punch your throat.
Although apparently it doesn't work all that well all the time. Who knows? But
So
the
people
third,
say.
we've got two emails off the same person.
Is it
Two-
Jason
two emails off
Gallagher?
the same person. No, it's off Antonio, and he says
Hey,
this.
Antonio.
First one is entitled Antonio's Quick Question.
Ooh, quick questions.
If you were to start anew and make a new podcast today, what would the main
God.
theme of the podcast be?
Um,
Video games? I don't know.
the paper grading podcast. I mean,
Yeah, paper grading.
Like, is he
Yay.
imagining we wouldn't be doing video games? Like, that's
Maybe.
a big part of our lives.
He didn't say not. He didn't say he had to not do.
I mean, if we
video games.
imagine that that's taken as a given, okay. If we had to do something other than video games,
I've got two ideas
go ahead.
that I actually would do if I had time, but I don't.
Okay.
I would get one
Not bad
called Spoiler Alert, where every episode is just about a game, and we just talk about the game.
Just one game.
One game.
Go on, let's hear him.
Okay.
No, you don't get every episode is a different game.
And we just go deep dives into one game each week.
Okay.
Is that
So
what you're
like
saying?
it'd be spoiler alert. Okay, this week it'll be God of War Ragnarok, or
Okay.
like not. It wouldn't be every week either. It'd just be like whenever we finish it.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
The other podcast would be called Let's Talk.
Yeah. So it'd just be.
Are you like 10 minutes behind, Stu?
casts.
I think he might be. Yeah.
Are you 10? Stu, are you 10 minutes behind?
Is there a delay, Stu? Are you?
I think you're
hearing
delayed.
us late?
I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
Stu,
think
I
there's a
think you're
delay.
delayed.
I don't know. My internet's just been crapping out.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Well, is
Hello?
there anything we can do about that?
We can hear you, Stu, but it sounds like you're in
contribute to a fund.
2009. That's how far back
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's oh god, the internet's just
When
playing
I stop,
up again.
when
all of a
Stu,
sudden.
when I finish talking, I want you to respond with yes straight
you
away.
hear
So
me
when I
now?
finish talking, say yes.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
That was like 2
damn,
seconds. That's 2
yeah,
seconds.
That was a long thing. Hi, Nix. You're just in time for Stu's delayed show.
Stu.
Yes.
Okay, that was a little bit quicker.
Yes.
Yes.
It does sound like
Yes.
it's coming back.
Yes.
Okay, I think you're back. Brilliant.
I'm back.
Jesus,
yes.
like, I felt like we just pulled you out of the past, like 1985,
did.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, it was that scene in Princess Bride when they have to dive into the sands of death and like pull
It's like
her
Back
out.
to the Future, man.
Yeah. Yes. So that would be.
I
my
have
other-
got dementia. What
that
are you
was
talking
so
about,
the
Dan?
one game. Spoiler alert! Dive into one
that would
game.
be
Go,
one.
What's your
one
second
that would be
idea,
what
Chip?
my other idea would be called. Let's talk about toast, and we basically just talk about like random stuff. So like the other day in the office, we were talking about how great toast is, and me and
Right.
Ollie at work could talk about toast for about like an hour. Like we love it that much.
Yeah,
and
I
then,
guess you're right.
Then
Who
it'd be just
cares?
other things that we like. So it's like I don't know. Let's talk about whatever,
Paper
like
clips.
just like whatever things that you just love that are just like everyday things, and it's all about appreciating the small things every day. And yeah, just like what's your favorite sort of moment at Christmas? Oh, I love it when you've just got your blanket round you, you're on the settee, and you're watching films, and then the conversation might be talking about like funny. So it's just let's talk about toast. That would be the name of the show.
Okay.
Okay.
I quite
Interesting
like that
ideas there.
random. I
Yeah.
like the random.
I was thinking I could do a podcast about like killer robots and hip hop and
Yeah,
like,
that'd be a good idea.
ontology and epistemology, all sorts of weird random stuff and current events. But I don't think I'd have time to do that very regularly, so it would be ridiculous.
If you
pay for
buckled
Podbean and-
up and got started, you probably do it.
Maybe, I don't know. It just the idea of spending even more time podcasting is just like, and besides, who the fuck would want to listen to that bullshit? Just me talking? Just me? If I could interview people once in a while, maybe, but just me talking? Ugh. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Stu?
I don't know, to be honest. I reckon I'd steal whatever his name was and look up people called Stuart Fowler who live somewhere else and find out what their
like Dave
lives are
Gorman?
like. Yeah, like Dave
The
Gorman.
other Westmore.
Find other Stuart Fowlers. See what
Would
they're
you not
doing
do
with
one
their
about
lives.
DJing or something or music?
No, because why would you? I do like music, I must admit, but I
But
don't
just
know.
talking about it isn't. There's not much to say.
Yeah, it's a bit
going
boring.
on about it.
Yeah, I think I'd just
Anytime
find
you're
other
listening to
people,
that, you could be listening to good music.
other people called Stuart Fowler and see what their lives are like.
Could be
Yeah.
interesting.
There you go.
All
That's
right,
what
good
I would
question,
do.
Antonio. And what's next?
Right, okay.
Oh,
that's his
sitcoms.
First...
I'd make one about sitcoms. Bye.
There you go. There you go. Sitcoms. Why are there no good ones anymore?
We
Those are
just
good
finished Fresh
questions.
Off the Boat. That's a great show.
I thought, can I just ask you two what's your favourite, not favourite one, but say like favourite 3 sitcoms of all time?
Mine would.
Simpsons?
Simpsons.
Yeah. Is that
Parks and
really a
Rec,
sitcom?
probably.
I don't know what it is.
Simpsons class
Situation
itself.
comedy, of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
it
It's a
I
it's a sitcom. Yeah.
guess.
So Parks and Rec and 30 Rock probably would be.
Parks and Rec wasn't it, Duke?
Parks and Rec, yeah, and 30
Oh,
Rock,
right.
I think.
You see, if
Well,
I had to
that was
pick
a
my
bad
favorite
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's up there too. It's hard to pick
all-time
just
3, it would probably be Friends.
Wow, that's so
I think
basic.
Friends.
Such a
I
basic
like
bitch.
Friends. It's a basic bitch.
Nothing wrong with that.
The early series of Last of the Summer Wine,
Jesus
because I
Christ.
just
You are
loved those
50.
when I was a kid growing
Trust me,
up.
Duke, you don't want to know. You don't know what that is.
am
I
50.
don't. It's fine. It's okay.
I am 50. And possibly Faulty Towers,
Oh, well,
because
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just,
that-
Faulty
it
Towers
never
is classic.
gets old.
Little
never
racist,
gets
but
old.
they all
It
are.
doesn't.
A
It is
little
very
bit.
racist and
But when
problematic
you
in other
watch
ways
it,
too.
it's
But
still-
it's
But
very
it's the
some of
old
it's
school
still
racism where it just
funny.
didn't matter.
Well, it probably mattered to some people.
It probably matters.
when they said
yeah.
you dingo you dago dingo, like really?
Yeah, no, that's in Peep Show, and he goes, "It's old school pedoing." You know, when it wasn't such a
Ah.
bad thing.
Um,
Yeah. Okay.
I never had to pick a more recent one. I'd probably go with Ted Lasso, obviously,
Oh.
because Ted Lasso is very, very good, and it makes you feel a bit fuzzy inside. And
Yeah.
Gavin and Stacey, which you hate, Chinny, I'm
I
guessing.
do. Yeah.
Gavin and Stacey, so good.
Yes.
Oh yeah. By the way, Hardly Dan's just put in the chat. How did he get away with the flowery twat sign? Which they did, because every show, every week was a different anagram. And there was a dude in, I think it was Scarborough. It was someone near us, and he had the Faulty Towers Hotel. He'd made his own Faulty Towers Hotel, and he had a magnetic sign outside his hotel. And
Flowery twats.
every week he used to do one of the anagrams from the show, and he
Yeah.
did
Nice.
flowery twats, and he got loads of complaints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I don't know why. don't know why it
We watched an episode of Simpsons today, and it's the one where Homer gets drunk and they host they have marriage counselling. They go that the catfish fishing thing, and it's the one where he basically like looks at Maud Flanders, her boobs, and he's basically sexually harassed her, which is all fine back
Yeah,
then.
right.
So it's a little strange to watch those things now, but whatever. It's the 90s. What are you gonna do?
Well, that's also the episode that has Mo teaching a class, right? Because it's at
no,
the community
no,
college.
no,
What?
wasn't. It's
I
not
thought
that
that
one.
was the one where he ends up. Well, that's also the episode that has.
Whoops.
Sorry.
Now you sound like me.
Sorry.
Wow.
Well, that's why I muted I should mute individual videos instead of the whole YouTube site. Well, I'm gonna play it anyway because it's a classic Simpsons moment. Funk
All right, here's
dancing
the
for
411,
self-defense.
folks. Say some gangsta is dissing your fly girl. You just give him one of these.
He's just dancing, and then he pulls out a shotgun for no reason.
Yeah.
That's one of
I don't
mo-
think
that
that's
may be Mo's
inappropriate.
best
I don't think
moment
that. I don't think that's inappropriate. That's fine.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't encourage violence or
fine.
anything. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Right. Next question or next email or whatever.
Oh, there is. There is. I'm sorry. There is.
Okay.
Antonio's quick question number 2. So there's
Quick question
one.
number 2. That was number 2. I thought that was 3.
There's no 3.
New
I feel
podcast. Wait, new
have-
podcast favorite sitcom. This is the 3rd one now.
I asked that
feel,
one. I asked the silent sitcom.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah, that was
I can't keep up.
Ginny's question. I feel with Duke and his recent doggy issues, my Nessie, a Romanian rescue, fell very ill while I was away on a work trip. So my partner had to deal with our sick dog. A sick dog who racked up a 4-digit vet fee. Yikes.
Oh, damn.
Go in the thousands of pounds.
So I guess
man.
this whole free healthcare thing doesn't extend to your pets, huh?
No.
Well,
fuck
you
the,
can
fuck
do.
the
You
pets.
do get health. You do get pet insurance, but I don't know. Maybe you didn't have it. I don't know. With that in mind, what are the VG's history with pets? Any pets in the past? Any want for an animal companion in the future?
Nope.
Nope.
Here's the thing. I've thought about this a little bit. The next time we get a dog, I would not mind having a puppy. I've never owned a puppy. I've never had a puppy.
Alright.
All of our dogs have always been full grown. We get them rescues. And it's good to rescue a dog. It's just, I don't know, there's a part of me that would kind of like a little dog, like a little puppy dog. You know? Bizarre, especially Tito. It's so enormous. He's a fucking horse. So I having a little dog, maybe a chihuahua or something, might be a good change of pace.
A
next time.
chihuahua?
I mean, not
Why?
necessarily that small, but you know, just
Yappy
something
little
small.
things. Why the hell would you want one of them?
Because they're cute.
They're not cute. They just yap
Okay,
at
well, I
everything.
think they're cute. Okay.
And
Well, you
people
get the
stick
dog
them
you
in the
want. I'll get the
handbags.
dog I
It's
want.
just
I'm not
weird.
saying
I don't
right.
know.
Well, I want a cute small dog. How about that?
Cute small dog. Yeah, it's not a yappy thing though. Don't get a yappy thing. Ugh.
Why don't we leave it?
What
is it your
pets have you
dog?
had in the past, Chinny? Have you had any pets in the past?
We've had hamsters. I
Oh,
didn't, I didn't like them. I didn't like cleaning them out. I didn't like picking them up. They're little fuckers. They
No,
like
awful things.
bite you and stuff. I don't mind dogs. Like I really like dogs. I think dogs are great, and I can understand why somebody would fall in love with a dog and all that sort of stuff. But I have now decided to own one. Tara wanted a dog for a little bit, and then she heard her friend talk at work about how her dog is ill and shits itself all the time. She has to put a pill up his arse, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I don't think I'm into a dog."
Nah.
Yikes.
I get it.
And like like your stories, Duke, of like Tito vomiting all the time. She's like, "Yeah, fuck that. I ain't doing that shit."
I'm with you.
Tara
gotta
doesn't even like it when you have shoes in the house, let alone like a dog shitting itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's- so
exactly.
it's-
Does she want kids?
I know. Yeah, she's got a shock there. But
Yeah, that's coming.
yeah, so
She
yeah,
doesn't.
we
Oh, okay.
she does. Yeah, but
Okay.
the
So I have some
it's
bad
diff-
news for you.
yeah,
It's different. It's different though.
it's different
when
though,
it's a
isn't it?
child.
It's different.
Yeah,
when
it's,
it's,
Is
it
it
is
though?
different.
it's human
I
poo.
mean,
It's different.
Well, it is. It's,
Well, it's
you
fucking
made
shit
it,
on your
dude.
carpet
You
is
made
shit on
it,
your
though,
carpet.
so
but
it's-
also, yeah,
it's
but
different, though,
also,
'cause you
I
made
made
it.
our dog.
There
I,
is-
I
Yeah, you did.
took some cauliflower and baked beans and
but also,
yeah, you
super
did.
glue.
the problem with the
Went
dog
to
is
the
like
backyard during a thunderstorm.
having a
prayed
dog
to
is like having
fall.
like a 3-year-old kid for
I like the
20
weird
years
science
or whatever.
reference,
Right,
Duke.
right.
Very nice.
So
So you're willing to
Put up with it.
endure the 2 through 4 years of shit everywhere and puking up stuff
yeah.
in order to have the adorable baby stuff and
Yes,
the awesome
I think the
adult
payoff.
child
I mean, we've
thing.
just come back from Stockport today, and we got to spend time with our lovely niece, and the payoff you get from playing with
Yeah.
such a lovely little baby, you don't mind the snot and the poos and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Um,
All right.
but yeah, at the no, well, I don't think we had a rabbit when I was young, and I remember
Yeah.
that. And my dad used to say, "Oh, you ran away," and it was like blatant, like the fox had eaten it. We had a cat which I hated. I locked in the pantry when I was a kid. I
Oh
locked
no.
the kid, just locked it in the pantry. I hated it. Just to top it all off, the cat was ginger as well, so that's probably started that off.
Ugh. Ginger cat.
No, just isn't our thing. Pets just isn't for us at all.
Fair enough.
No, I agree. I'm the same. Not bothered about having any pets. It just work.
They are work. Like my brother's
It
like
just work,
my
man.
brother's just like everything's the dog. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna,
You can't go on holiday. You have to
Oh,
fucking put it in
dog.
kennels.
and you walk in
Ugh.
and the dog.
Or if you have a
comes-
pit bull, you can't put it
dog-friendly
in kennels. You have to have
accommodation.
somebody take care of it for you.
But like you walk
Well-
in and the dog kicks off and then he farts and he's just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
he tries
forget
to
it.
shag your leg and you're like, you're trying to have a
Yeah.
conversation with someone. You got this like animal trying to shag you. and you
Pumping you.
know, it's just not
Yeah,
for me.
forget it, man.
Not
Forget
for
it.
me.
Well, that's about it, people. So I guess it's time to do some shout outs and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it is.
So, dude.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I'll shout out
Welcome to
Antonio
you.
for sending us 2 emails.
Yeah,
Thank
not
you,
one, but
Antonio.
2.
Peace to you. I guess I'm not supposed to do like that, huh? That's the V's. Yeah, I will shout out the Duchess because I don't even know what she's making for dinner, but she always cooks up something good. And she committed to making a flan for our Thanksgiving Friends gathering. They call it Friendsgiving now. Shout out to Doug and Leave and their family because they're coming here for Thanksgiving.
Who calls it Friendsgiving?
Our friends. Well,
Oh, there
no,
you
there's an article in the Washington Post that talked about Friendsgiving is the new thing because people can't travel to be with their families or whatever.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, shout out to my buddy Tim who teaches physics. He'll never hear this. Shout out to you two for coming through every week and having a good
yeah, we
time
do.
discussing video games. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Nix, Hardly Dan, Darren Sims, probably some other people. Shout out to Jacinta because she emailed last week, even though she didn't email this week. But I think she sent me an email about the picture I sent her of the Duchess, and I just haven't read my email for a long time, so I don't know. And shout out to the people who wrote these stories that I'm putting comments on because it's going to be at the Whitewater Festival soon. 10
There you go.
days from today, in fact.
There you go.
Yep.
Chinny.
Shout out to the Overseas Connection and the Seal
Oh, yeah.
podcast. Yeah, shout out to them. I'm gonna shout out some. So Can I shout out? Can I recommend a song? That's gonna be my shout out. This song, Duke.
Oh, okay.
It's for
okay.
Duke. It's for Duke.
Okay.
I feel like every time I've heard this song for years, probably about 15 years ago, I found this song, and it's
Okay.
called "Thou Shalt Always Kill." Have you heard of this song?
Oh, yeah. Scoobius Pip and Dan Lasac.
Oh, you do know it. So this, don't play it because we'll get struck off. But
Yeah, well, don't,
I'm
don't
not
get us
playing, I'm
struck off.
actually singing
This-
it. It
this
sounds
song-
perfect. But
this song, just I listened to it and I'm like, this has
So
like
good.
Duke energy.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, totally.
it's
I don't
just-
remember who originally recommended it to me, but as soon as I heard it, I was like, and it's one of those songs. There are some songs I got to listen to a few times. Like I can tell there's something in the lyrics that I want to get a hold of. But this, as soon as the first beat began, it's just,
Yeah. So this is
I was like,
yes. Stu, have you heard of this song?
I haven't.
So these can I
So
just
good.
read some of the lyrics for you, Stu, and you'll find
Yeah,
out
you can.
why. Right. Duke likes it. So he goes,
thou shalt not
The-
steal if there's a direct victim.
thou shall not thou shall not read enemy, thou shall not stop liking a band just because they become popular, thou shall not question Stephen Fry, thou shall not judge a book by its cover, thou shall not
Cover.
judge
Thou shalt not judge
Weapon
Lethal Weapon by Danny
by
Glover.
Danny Glover, thou shall not buy the Coca-Cola products, thou shall not buy Nestle products.
Nestle products. That's true,
Um,
by the way. Fuck Nestle.
So
Don't
and
ever
then,
buy anything.
and then
from
it goes into like
Thou
how
shalt not put bands on pedestals, no matter how great they are
yeah.
or were. The Beatles, just a band. Minor Threat, just a band.
Led
The Clash,
Zeppelin.
just a band. Led Zeppelin, just a band. Radiohead, just a band. Orbital, just a band. The Prodigy, just a band. The next big thing, just a band. They didn't say Orbital and Prodigy, but I threw those in for Stu's
I
They
like
say
it.
I'll list the bands they say: Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Beach Boys, Sex Pistols, The Clash, Crash, Minor Threat, The Cure, The Smiths,
Yeah.
Nirvana, The Pixies, Oasis, Radiohead, Block Party, The Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
The next big thing.
And it's great because in the video, have you seen the video, Jenny?
No,
Oh, you'll love the video. The video is great. When they're doing that, they're holding up album covers for each of them. So, they got Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, and they throw it away. And the last one where they say the next big thing, just a band, they hold up Scroobius Pip and Dan Lasac and
okay.
throw that away. I was like,
and then the
"Yeah."
one that I
Thou
suppose
shalt never forget that money, bitches, and bling were never part of the 4 elements and never will be.
that thou shalt not spell the word Phoenix Pheonix, not Phoenix.
Regardless of what the Oxford English Dictionary tells you.
There you go. So I wanted to share that. We're
Beautiful.
also
I've
watching.
heard that so many times.
We're also
love it.
watching a show called Top Boy, which there's it's a funny show because the we've got like a kind of sex spam thing in the
We've
YouTube.
never had
Awesome.
one of
I
those
really want
before.
I want a dating
Wow.
online. What the fuck does that even mean?
Um,
And
Well,
why
one
is
heart
it,
and
how is there
everything.
no link? Like, what are we supposed to do with that? I want to try a new dating online. It's not a bot. It's someone who's trying to help us find love.
oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no link, man. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I'm
maybe
watching
it's the username.
the show called Top Boy. Top Boy is it's a funny show because there's sort of two shows. There's one called Top Boy Summer House,
Okay.
and Top Boy. So Top Boy Summer House is the original show that was on BBC, and then it got cancelled after 2 seasons. And then Drake, popular rapper singer, well, he's just a rapper, I suppose. Drake, he loved the show because he thinks he's a yardie, and
Right.
and he decided that, why did this show get cancelled? Can I pay for it, basically? And he became an executive producer on it. And he said, this show's great. I want more of it. Can we have more of it? And he funded the next 3 seasons, which are on Netflix. So if you want to watch Top Boy, it features Kano, who's a fantastic rapper in the UK. And also, I forgot his name, but he's in So Solid Crew. Very good actor as well. And it's also got Letitia Wright from the Black Panther movies. A very young Letitia Wright, who's like one of the coolest actors ever. Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great. So I recommend Top Boy. We watched the first 2 seasons. Very, very good.
Cool.
That's it.
There you go. Well, I'm going to shout out Bongo the Sane, Robin,
yeah.
because he gave me a ring this week to check I was okay.
Ah.
And,
Bongo.
and also mentioned if I do pop my clogs, he'll come and collect my decking. So there you go. Thank you, Bongo, for being so caring and considerate. There you go. Nice, man. So yeah, I much appreciated that. And I am going to shout out also Armar, friend of the show, Armar Parles, because he's also contacted me to check I was okay. So he's also phoned me and then like, I just wanted to check you're okay. You can't die and stuff.
You
but
will.
I feel
You
fine.
will. You will
I will
die.
eventually.
Someday.
I will
it's gonna
eventually.
happen.
But I feel fine. Can I just let everyone know? I feel
Yay.
absolutely fine.
That's
The meds
awesome.
are doing the trick, and I'm back at work, and I feel absolutely fine. 100%. Better than I was before.
Groovy.
New and improved.
New and improved.
And I think that's
Stronger
it.
than ever.
So, thanks to
That's
you
it,
guys
people.
as
Thank you,
always. Thanks to everyone
everybody.
who listens.
Maybe people should think before they speak.
Exactly. And on that note, let's say goodbye.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
everybody. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Listen, go to VGHub.net.
Mario cheese! Gonna do something less boring instead. Sitting at home, watch TV. Learning love stories.
He only had $3 in his wallet. $3 in his wallet. That was bullshit. You know that was bullshit.
There you go.
That's a good way to describe the show, by the way. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. There you go. Is that it? We done?
I think that's it.
Okay, that's enough. No more talking.
No more talking.
The recording has
Anyway,
ended.
the recording has ended.
I got to do one more of these papers, I think. I didn't grade anything for school. I'm a bad teacher, man.
You're a bad person.
Well, I'm not a bad person. I was a bad teacher. However, Eckhart Tolle says the problem comes when we think of ourselves as things like I am a teacher, I am a writer, whatever. You are doing teaching, you are doing writing. And so if I let go of that, first of all, my identity is a little less clear and cast in stone. But it also lets me let go of the whole idea of being a bad teacher. I can't be a bad teacher if I'm not a teacher at all.
There you go.
So that's the benefit of the larger sense of the ontology beyond the identity
Excellent.
title
Well,
activity.
unfortunately, guys, I'm at work tomorrow, so like the old
Aw.
days, I've got to go.
Yeah.
Got to go because
Sorry. Good luck with your 4-day work
Are you
week.
still doing part time?
No. So I'm doing
Damn.
4 days this week, but they are still half hours. So I'm still, I say half hours, I'm doing 7 hours a day. And then 110.5 at the end of the week. And depending on how that goes, the following week, I'm back full time.
Damn.
Because I feel fine.
You should be like, oh, my heart. Your EKG says it's fine. No, really. I need to take more time off.
I know.
Fake
I
it
know,
is what I'm
it's
saying.
weird. Fake it till you make it, man.
You're gonna be working twice as much as me this week. I only got a 2-day week because we got
I know.
Thanksgiving.
Well, the thing is, Duke, I have to go back full time because Chinny still hasn't paid me for the stream this year, you know.
Oh, what a
I'm
bum.
just saying, I can't afford
What about
to
the
stay off any
Patreons,
longer.
though? Yeah.
I know, they keep paying, apparently.
Well, then
they're
what's the
paying up.
problem?
I
Well,
don't
but he's
know.
not forwarding that money to you.
He's
Yeah.
not forwarding the money. He keeps
Oh, what a
promising,
bum.
and then it never
Yeah, I don't,
arrives.
I don't pay bums.
He doesn't. He's not paid yet. I mean, it's only September when I paid it. You know, something like 3 months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Stu. I didn't know you were that hard up.
Well, I've not been working for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
he's in a
yeah,
lot
but
of debt.
that doesn't mean you haven't been paid.
I haven't been paid full pay. Some money. They don't pay sick pay, company sick pay.
You do.
So,
all
not that I
right.
don't actually need the money as it goes.
You don't need the
but
money.
It would be nice, you know what I mean? Because Chitty was like, "Oh, it'd
Wouldn't
be
it
great.
be nice
You
if
won't have to
Chinny would
pay
pay
anymore.
you
You don't have to
and
pay."
you wouldn't have to whinge
And
so
every year,
long.
it's like fighting a monkey in a dustbin, getting the money out of him. I tell you,
Bloody
Oh, we
hell!
could've seen a
Calm
monkey.
down. You've only asked me once.
twice. I've actually twice.
Oh, did
Yeah, how
ya?
many times you had to ask a monkey? You ever hear Kamel and Johnny talk about
Honestly.
the birthday party he
Fighting a
went to in
balloon, it's like
Pakistan?
finding a monkey in a dustbin. Tell
Tell
you.
you what I'll do.
Happy
Shoot.
birthday!
I'll tell you what I'll do.
Thank you very much.
What are you gonna do?
I'll make it an automated payment.
There you go.
So
What,
every
once
month,
a year.
every
Why not?
year,
Yeah, it
it'll
would
just
be
come out.
That's a
easy
good
for
idea.
you.
It's
Yeah.
£87 anyway. Just to let you
87
know.
fucking quid. You can have it
I
back.
know. You know, it's never gone up. I should touch wood when I say that because it's never gone up the
Yeah.
whole time we've been doing it.
Yeah, it's
I
mad.
think it might have gone up by about a tenner, but it's hardly
Jinxing
gone up
it,
anything.
You're jinxing it.
So
I
you've-
know, I'm
it's never
touching-
gone up apart from a tenner. Did you hear him, Duke? It's never
No,
gone
I
up
don't know
apart
whether it
from
was
a tenner.
76 to begin with, and now it's 86.
So it has.
I
So
don't
it has
know.
gone up. So it has gone up.
It's not gone up
It went
very
up
much,
last
though, in
week.
10, 12 years, though.
It
let's
hasn't
be
gone up.
fair.
It hasn't gone up according to inflation.
And if you look at their price plans now, there is nothing that costs 86 quid
No.
a year.
There is another one. I think
Or
that's like
87 quid a year.
cheaper, but I don't care really.
You get what you pay for, man.
Yeah,
It only
87 quid a
streams
year.
the show to half the people who want it.
Exactly. Right, I've got to go. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right, peace
people.
out, fam. Have a good
See
week.
you later.
later.
Hasta la
Bye.